Welcome back, everybody. Just to do a little recap since it's been a month since I've seen your faces. Last session, our heroes successfully retrieved the first of three cursed items from the depths of the Catacombs de Paris. The Amulet of Pazuzu is now in the hands of the Allies, protected from the clutches of the Third Reich in a special case designed by technological engineer Howard Stark. It has come to the team's attention, however, that the second item on their list, the Lament configuration, also known as Le Marchand's Box, has already been commandeered by the Nazis and is now in the nefarious hands of the infamous Baron Zemo, who has likely sequestered it away at the concentration camp known as Saragora, the Gray Mountain, located in the snow-capped mountains of Poland. Coincidentally, Peggy Carter has been alerted to an assassination plot against one of her fellow MI6 agents, an undercover British spy under the guise of a Nazi SS officer Heinrich Brühl. Brühl and his entourage are set to travel from Paris to Poland via train, and it is now the team's mission to protect Brühl from assassination while keeping his identity secret. Our heroes previously made plans to go undercover, creating identities for themselves on the trip. However, there is a hitch in the plans. Your fellow teammate, Darkwing, received a telegram in the middle of the night alerting him to the fact that several members of his direct lineage have been rounded up by the Third Reich. Although he has distanced himself from his family due to his, shall we say, animalistic tendencies, he feels it's his duty to do whatever he can to save them from almost certain doom. So it is with much regret that he must bow out of this mission moving forward, but he wishes the team much luck as they continue on without him. As luck would have it, however, there's a replacement waiting in the wings. Another operative has been briefed on the situation and is arriving at your hotel now to discuss plans moving forward. So with that in mind, Geo, I'll let you kind of take the reins here for a moment and introduce yourself to the group in the lobby of the hotel here in Paris.
Do we do just in character here, or?
Yeah, we normally try to keep it in character.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Steve. Nice to meet you. I was told I would be wanting to talk to you all by a higher up, let's just say a manager that I work for that knows all of you. I'm. So what do I see? How are you guys all dressed out of character?
Let's see. We're still in Paris in the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I imagine we're probably still kitted out and haven't dressed for the mission, because that would be likely we would get shot. That would be bad. So you can probably see the background next to me. That's what Bombshell looks like. Although currently I think she has some sort of skirt on.
The other female presenting operative that you see, other than Peggy, of course, assuming she's there, looks painfully Irish. Long red hair. Even her dress is tartan mixed with basic army tan type stuff. She presents a hand. Good day to you. My name's Maeve. Field name Flux.
Maeve, Pleasure to meet you.
Her hand,
Oh,
her handshake is firmer than you would expect
Oh,
from not not how that hurts firm, but she certainly knows how to give a professional handshake.
does she is she built physically bigger, like large, or is
No,
it just how her
she
past?
she looks very the best physical representation I could tell you in real life media. If you're familiar with the WWE wrestler Becky Lynch, oh,
I am
that's what she looks like. Yeah,
I am familiar with WWE.
Becky Lynch, basically. That's who I based it off of.
No.
yeah, Bombshell will raise a hand and wave. I'm Shelly. Bombshell, they call me. She's about 6 foot,
Oh wow.
and um, we'll say she matches the name.
Hmm. Nice to meet you, Shelly. Shelly and Maeve. Is Shelly well, obviously U.S. based, right?
Yep.
American accent, unlike me.
Yes. Yeah, if you're good with accents, you might be able to pin her down as New York, New Jersey.
Oh yeah, I know that New York accent. Yep.
I am dressed in generic French, civilian clothing, because we don't really want to be going around wearing an army uniform in occupied Paris. About 5'10", brown hair, brown eyes, rugged American look. Looks a little like Ben Grimm, probably. That just sort of chiseled, everyman Brooklyn face, though he's actually from Boston. Yeah, you can call me Jake when we're off duty. When we're on duty, you can call me the human tank. I really don't want to show you why. You can call me that here where there's lots of krauts around. I'm just private in this man's army doing his bit for Uncle Sam. And also, if I get a chance to punch Zemo once or twice, I'm gonna take it.
Ah,
We got some history.
gotcha.
And now, just real quick, one more time. Where are we again? Physically, we're
Still in Paris at the
In Paris.
hotel. Yeah, where you
At the
guys
hotel.
were staying. Yeah. Mhm.
okay. Well, if we're at the hotel, and are we kind of in like a public area, I guess?
Yeah, just the lobby.
Okay. All right. So in that case, uh, the other guy lifts his hand and waves. Hey, so my name is Hank, and he doesn't look like that right now. Right now, you might be able to see maybe that red kind of kerchief and the mask kind of pulled down around his neck, but he's wearing a coat and slacks over his kind of khaki pants over his the rest of his gear. Although you can probably see the gloves peeking out. And he says, "So my name is Hank. Um, I've been well. It started as a joke, but now it's kind of stuck. They call me Mr. Arcane.
Mr.
But
Arcane.
I'm your. That's right.
Okay.
I'm your arcane expert in this
He's super
in this
smart.
in this mission. Oh no, no, no,
Our
no,
house,
no, no.
our house Houdini, as it were.
Perhaps, and he like lifts his hand in a flicker of energy. He looks around, lifts, and you hear kind of just a very quiet, not a roar, but it sounds feline. And he says, "So," he says, "if we, it looks like it's fortunate that they hired someone like me. Although I am trying to do my part, but I'm not in the service like I guess all the rest of you are. So, but I'm trying to do my part. So, if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them."
Glad to meet you, Hank.
Nice to meet
Also,
you.
Steve, what does Steve look like? What are we looking at?
That's what I was working on. Okay, so he looks like he's very tall, skinny, 6'5", and he's wearing Well, think the 40s. Think noir. Like Bogart. What's the hat called? Not a fedora. Is it
So
a?
trilby.
What is it?
Trilby.
The trilby.
Trilby.
Mm-hmm.
How's
That's the
that?
small one. The fedora is like the big brimmed one. The
That's
trilby's
the
like the small one.
Yeah, that's the Indiana Jones ones. How do you spell Trilby, guys?
T
Trilby.
R
I
TRY.
Trilby.
LBY. Okay, I forgot that. I was just watching freaking Maltese Falcon the other week too. Uh, yeah,
Out of character, Geo, just so you know, lag is a real thing on here. So we often end up talking over each other. So just don't be aware of it and don't think it's anything about you. It's just the
yeah.
reality of online gaming.
Oh, yeah. I've played on Discord, and you get a few people. It's gonna happen. People think of the same thing at the same time, so no worries. Uh, I was thinking he'd be wearing like like he kind of is dressed like a noir PI, even though he's not a PI. It's just like fashionable for somebody tall, lanky in the 40s during that. So he's got the trilby and like a trench coat,
Mhm.
and yeah, he's 6'5", really skinny, and I don't know. In D&D, I would say roll perception check if I was DM, because only some of you might notice something a little bit unusual about his features. I don't know. Should I just say it to everybody, or would it be something only some notice?
Shelly
Um,
won't notice, I'll tell you that.
let's let's everybody make an intuition roll, please.
Intuition.
Okay.
Oh boy. So there's a chance you're telling me.
Got it. Intuition.
Green like a shamrock.
and a
Ooh,
red.
nice.
Ooh,
And here you were
really?
saying you wouldn't notice.
Well, I used up my good roll.
She got it
All
right.
right, so Bombshell, you probably pick up on that like immediately. He's probably a fairly decent looking man,
Okay, so then she
which
pays attention.
you pay attention to. But there's something very mysterious about his features, and Human Tank, you also kind of pick up a little bit that this dude looks a little odd.
Is it anything that my talents would help with or no?
Well, you got a green, right?
I did.
I don't know that like your instincts would necessarily pick up on anything too
Okay.
crazy to make you wonder, unless just the mere fact of you just being curious about what's this guy all about. You know, he's new. Uh, would you just as a character poke him psychically?
Well, I
Or not?
wouldn't. I wouldn't necessarily poke him psychically, but I mean, we are on a hunt for a bunch of artifacts, and I am a little worried about Zuzu potentially showing up again.
Mhm.
So I would probably do a little detect, mystical energy. I don't know if
Okay.
that would.
Yep. No, you can certainly do that. And while you do that, I will let, or not.
No, he's fine.
Yeah,
good.
no, he's perfectly normal.
I'll let Geo kind of describe to Bombshell the intricacies of the oddness that surrounds him. Now, this goes to everybody, but we're pretty good about keeping secrets when
You
when
can
it's
also
an
send a
odd
specific
character.
message to people in the chat by using the little drop down if you want.
Oh, okay. Um,
If the GM's okay with that. If you want to just do it out in public, that's fine too. I don't
I,
care.
I'm okay with that as long as I'm included.
let me see. Maybe this part I'll tell you what Bombshell notices is that his features seem to be very much more elongated than your normal human type of body form. Like his face has got a very elongated shape to it and chin. His fingers are very long.
Okay.
So it just seems like either that is like some type of a quirk genetically or that's something special, something a little bit unusual.
Aliens.
What's the meme? Oh my gosh, I can't
I
remember.
don't want to say it's aliens, but
I don't want to
it's
say
aliens.
that's what it is.
1 second.
See, he
Um,
really is magic. He just disappeared.
Yeah.
Peggy Carter approaches the group as you guys are introducing each other, and she says, "Well, I see we have a new member to the team. It's unfortunate that we lost Darkwing in the middle of the operation, but as you know, in time of war, things like this do happen. We had a bit of a plan
Sorry.
in place, at least loosely, the last time we spoke last night. But due to the circumstances, perhaps we might want to revisit that and decide, since this is an undercover operation, how we need to go in and who you will be. We seem to have, with the loss of Darkwing, we lost the man of royalty. So I don't know if that is particularly going to work in this case. I will let you all discuss it. I'm in the final process of finishing the paperwork to get you on the train. But we only have about 2 hours before we need to be at the station to board.
Out of
So,
character, since
mhm.
I wasn't here last time,
Yeah.
what I know Flux is going to be pretending to be somebody she isn't because that's honestly her call and
Her
form.
deal.
Was it decided what I was going to be?
I don't
Or
think that we decided for you.
okay.
I think that we did, everybody else kind of had a general idea about what they were going to do, but it was mostly centered around Darkwing and the fact that he was going to be going on as like a German royal of some sort, like a baron or
Hmm.
something like that. Bombshell was going to be his consort. The human tank was going to be kind of like a bodyguard, and Mr. Arcane, if I remember correctly, was going to be a consultant. Was that right?
Maybe. I'd have to go back and watch it again myself,
Mm,
but
Well, I'm a shapeshifter. Couldn't I be
mhm.
the royalty?
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
sure.
I could even probably pass with a more effeminate vocal inflection. I could probably pass for a short man.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, that could still work.
I was muted. I was gonna say you could always be like one of them baronesses. You know, the blondes with the whips and stuff.
Yeah, but then Bombshell being the consort probably would not fly in the 40s.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I had not thought about that part. And she wouldn't make a good lady's maid, I don't think. So yeah, let's go with the Baron idea.
And Peggy, as she's walking away to finish the paperwork, she says, "One other thing that I obviously will need is your nom de plume, your alter ego that you'll be assuming on this particular leg of your adventure. So once you determine that, please let me know, and I will make the adjustments on the paperwork."
Okay. Does it need to be someone in country, or could I still be American? Because I don't speak German or French or, sorry, anything else.
Yeah, no, I think that that would probably be fine.
Okay. Let's see. Um, what name will I give? I know what I'll give. I'll give Hector. Um, Hector Strong.
Victor Strong. Okay.
Yeah, if we're going to be doing that, I'll go for Gerald von Panzer.
Well, that sounds a little German.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a bodyguard for the Baron. They wouldn't have a Yank doing that.
That's true.
So I can be the German.
Oh,
Heil Hitler. Yeah, that's all you got to say. Heil Hitler over and over. That's all. What else would I need to say?
In chat.
Oh, in chat. Okay. Boy, you're gonna really make me write here.
I'm actually at the Wikipedia listing for Barons of Germany, and I just kind of mashed some names together.
Alrighty.
Bombshell looks uncomfortable, like she's had a headache or something. She's like rubbing her temples.
Illicron.
are you okay?
Headache, something. Eh. And then she looks funny for a minute. And she reaches into her mouth and she pulls out a mangled bullet.
Oh.
Well, isn't that lovely?
Does that happen a lot?
I know. No, those usually come out much quicker. I don't know when that's from.
You do know, Bombshell, that eat lead is supposed to be
Kind of a figure of speech.
each.
A euphemism. Truly.
Right.
And then Lucas, I'll need a name for your undercover ID.
Oh, a German name?
Depends on exactly what you are in relation to the party.
I mean, I'll be honest. I honestly considered Italian instead of German, just because Italian rolls a little bit better off of an Irish accent. But I didn't want to mess with the plan too much.
Well, we can assume that your German accent is actually better than it may be in real life.
I mean,
So,
she's
Fair
a
enough.
super spy after all.
that's right.
Right.
So you mean in relation to the party, as in how would it not be if everybody's picking German? Would there be any case where it would not be a German type of secret ID?
Well,
not-
he, Jonathan's is not. He is going to be playing an American with the group.
I think you mean traitorous American.
Traitorous American, perhaps. Yeah.
I'm a freelancer. Thank you very much.
A professional.
That's right.
Wait, aren't we working for the Allies though?
You are, but you're going undercover to protect a MI6 agent that is also undercover with the SS.
So is this like our undercover?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit. All right, I'll be Friedrich Falkenberg.
Okay. All right. So cover story. What's our cover story going in?
I'm with Leopold. Just gonna hang on Flux's arm and look pretty.
Do we all have to be interlinked with one another?
Doesn't necessarily have to be. No.
I mean, I almost think it would be better coverage as a team if some of us were separate from the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to be an American, so I could just be traveling. Well, let's see. How much business would I have
At this point
in this part of the world?
Is the war in progress already?
Yes,
yeah,
it
this
is.
is the 40s. We are actively at war. So anyone American will probably be seen as a spy.
Wait a minute. What if he? Could we? Is it possible for us to get fake like military papers that one of us is a German military officer, and then we are traveling with Hank here as a possible guest slash maybe prisoner as a cover.
Yeah, I like that. I think we need to stick together, so we have an excuse for all of us being together. I don't want to. I don't want us being together to be suspicious.
I could be a writer. I could be a writer traveling with the
Regard
Baron.
Johnny's character could be a guest of the barony. Yeah.
Journalist, writer, too.
Journalist. That's perfect. Because journalists would have a reason, free
Yes.
press and all that.
So I'll maybe need a press pass or something like that. I don't know if they did that in the 40s, but Press
If you were
card.
there,
Germany,
you could say that you're there to, basically for propaganda purposes. You're going to report the truth about you know, how wonderful everything is and how the Americans are all lying.
Yep.
okay. Sure.
To provide a more
Balanced and fair.
balanced, yes,
A
more,
neutral opinion.
yes.
But
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we have the Baron and his consort. We have a journalist. We have kind of the bodyguard, and then Lucas. What role do you think you will play in this?
well, I mean, okay, so the Baron is a what, German Baron, playing a Baron, an actual nobility German, heritage Baron here.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Uh, Falkenberg. Well, yeah, that's a good. I like that already. That you got that down. Shoot, maybe an industrialist, German industrialist, international. So I'm not tied down to Germany. Maybe I'm going around trying to get some of the neutrals. Like he's pretending to try to influence like Turkey and some of the neutral countries to the Axis side. Some of the ones that had fascist tendencies, like maybe Argentina, Turkey, Brazil.
Would a baron be involved in that though?
Yeah, you could be involved with me and the Baron could be both involved in something like that. So we'd have a good reason to work, as like a uniting point or whatever.
Well,
You-
industrialists like money, and royalty tended to have money.
Yeah.
And there's money to be made in war.
There we go. You're here. You're part of the reason you're there is to try to talk me into financing you.
Your finance? You have finances to lend to
I'm
give?
a baron.
Oh yeah, you're the.
I am literally old money.
Okay, so posing as German industrialist.
All right. Well, you guys have had a chance now to speak with Peggy, and she finalizes the paperwork. She gets you your press pass, and all the other paperwork that you need to your passports and so forth to show who you actually are on this excursion into Poland. And she also does provide you with some extra costume pieces to help sell the deal for you if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
She takes you down to a local clothing store and quickly has some pieces kind of strewn together for you all that is certainly passable for the mission that you're going on. She then calls for a car to take you down to the train station, and it's a nice stretch limousine that brings you to the train station. When you arrive, it's a hustle and bustle of activity. People boarding trains, getting off of the trains, greeting loved ones, saying farewell, and so forth. You pass through with little trouble. The paperwork is very good. Peggy is very good at what she does. And you present your tickets to get on board the train. I'll go ahead and pull you to the next little map here for you so you can kind of see how this is laid out. Now, once you get in here, the layout of the train, and I'm not sure where it focuses for you guys, so if you need to scroll out to see the whole thing, you might want to do that. In the upper right-hand corner, you see the engine car that's up in the top right. And as far as how this works, and you would travel from car to car on the map, we start with the engine car and then go back to the full steerage to full cargo. And from there, we zip down to the galley, over to the stable car. And where it says cannon car here, don't believe that there's cannons. This was an easy map for me to pull for the purposes that I
So
needed.
that's not canon, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not canon.
Darn you! You beat me to the joke.
The wrong end.
I was just thinking about the possibility of picking up a cannon and beating someone with it.
So
Out of character question.
Yeah.
Real quick, just so I'm square in my head.
Mhm.
Who among us actually knows German?
I think Darkwing, who is no longer with us.
Well, so actually, Mr. Arcane, he considers for a moment, and I'm gonna actually. So I want to use a spell, Chris, and there's a spell called Tongues, and you said that I mean, would that fall under my kind of general magic? Something I could. Well, so in the spell it says that if it's a human language, that you don't need a feat roll. So,
Okay.
Would you like me to do one anyway? Because I don't actually have the.
Well, let
Like
me
this.
pose this to you. If you wanted to, I think roll
Uh-huh.
and cast it over the group, that
Uh-huh.
might be very advantageous.
Okay.
And
I'm
then
good for
that way everyone could pass, and
Yeah,
then you'd
sure.
be able to understand. Everyone would be able to understand everybody else that speaks the language.
It's not
Yeah.
just about understanding, though. It's about if I'm the only one that speaks German and my bodyguard and my consort don't, that's going to run some red flags.
So actually, that should be fine though. I think I can cover that, as a matter of fact, because it allows I can enable each of us to speak, read, write, and understand a particular language.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Ooh, nice.
So, so gather around, and so gather around. I'll spend karma for this roll.
Never mind.
Hey, look at
I'll
that.
spend the 10.
All right.
That's nice.
So
Nice.
now everyone speaks German.
Oh, wow.
And he says something in German, like he says, "So how is that in German?"
Perfect.
And
Fine. Am I
To-
supposed to notice some difference? I
to the rest of you, it sounds like you're
Very good.
speaking English.
Very good.
But anyway, as far as like the path of the car, it basically moves in an S formation. The cannon car and the empty steerage, you can consider those to be standard cars, just like the two here at the bottom. But moving from car to car, you're basically moving in an S formation. So from the empty steerage car right here, would go to the sleeper car, then to the first class, then to the dining car, then alt sleeper, then standard, alt standard, bank, and empty cargo. Okay?
Okay.
Just to kind of give you an idea about how the map works.
Yeah.
So you've made it onto the train, and I've placed you in your sleeper car, where you all will be staying. For the trip, but you're free to roam around for the most part to most of the cars available. Standard cars, of course, is where most people will gather. There is a dining car there as well that has a full bar, and that's where dinner and so forth will be served during your journey. So you're free to kind of move about. You guys can talk to each other and
Point of
decide
order:
what to do.
would my consort and I actually be in the first class car?
Well, the first class was already pre-booked, and that's why they couldn't get you in there for this particular trip. And that has actually been reserved for the SS officers.
So noted. Was worth asking.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
For the record, the Baron that I look like is thin, about the same height as Flux, because I didn't want to mess with. I have to do feet rolls if I present bigger than my body. Um, about 20 years, at least 20 years older than Bombshell. So she's obviously there for the money
Makes perfect sense.
or the kink, whichever.
I mean, or why not both?
Why not both?
Why not?
I tend to not talk unless I feel I need to.
Okay.
I'm not standoffish per se, but I'm aristocracy. There's a natural built-in level of aloofness there, especially since I have to sleep with the common folk.
Hmm.
All right, so gentlemen and ladies, the train is yours to explore. So if you want to discuss a little bit amongst yourselves, you're welcome to do that, or start asking questions. I am here to assist.
Okay. So as I recall, we're here to protect someone, right?
Yes, the gentleman by
But-
the name of Heinrich Bruhl.
But
But
he's
he
not
is
supposed to know
Not
we're
supposed to
there.
know that you're there, right?
Okay.
Do we know where he is?
At the moment, no.
He's on the train. We should probably find
On
him
the
before he gets, bang, and we're over here
Yep.
Okay.
fluffing our pillows.
Good idea.
Fluff your pillow.
Well, since nobody's gonna do it for me, I'm in the regular sleeper car.
Okay. Well, so did we see him on the way to our sleeper car? I guess we did not see him on the way to there.
I would say you probably saw some German officers getting on board the train. They loaded onto a different car than you did.
Oh, okay.
So you didn't have a chance to really give them a good once-over.
Okay. Do we know if we were restricted or told, hey, you can't go to these cars because they're kind of off limits or anything like that?
There was
When we got
the back two cars, the empty cargo car and the bank car, are restricted and blocked from access.
Okay. So don't go there unless we can't find him. In which case we'll have to go there. Okay, well, I suppose we should. What time is it now? Is it late? Is it early?
It's about 7 o'clock in the evening, and the train is just pulling out of the station.
So
Have we-
dinner time.
Right.
Yeah.
Have we seen the dining car yet, or no?
You probably passed through there in order to get to the sleeper.
Okay. Well, we have to eat, so perhaps he has to eat. So would you? Do y'all want to try and see if we bump into him there?
Seems like the least suspicious way.
Right.
Yeah. Let's get us some grub. What do they eat here? They got sausage. Anything else?
That'd be
Sauerkraut. Okay.
Bratwurst.
I have no idea.
That's just another kind of sausage.
I look at Bombshell and go, "Come, lady, we dine."
Yes, dear. Yeah.
All right, I'll pull you guys over there so you don't have to
Yeah, I'm thinking we gotta go through
meander about.
empty steerage, right? Because they're not going to have you traipsing through first class to get to the dining car.
Actually, I think in the process of
Oh, you
that, let's
do,
see here.
actually?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a hallway.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
I see. Okay.
But I'll go ahead and pull you to the car there,
Okay.
just as a
Okay.
group, so that you don't have to worry about moving there yourselves. Just be easier to do that, I think. There we go.
Well, as I'm walking, by the way,
Mhm.
I'll have out a book, and I'll have out a whatever, a pencil, I suppose. And from time to time, I'll stop and just scribble something, um, like a notepad, like a one of those big long notepads,
Mhm.
just to kind of try and sell it a little bit. So,
Mm.
All right, so you enter the dining car, and there are several individuals in there already waiting for dinner to arrive. You certainly see the SS officers right away. They're dressed in their full regalia. Um, One that appears to be a commander of some sort, and then perhaps a captain, and then two lower level officers that are seated at a separate table. Additionally, there are two other individuals here already in the car. An older gentleman right here with white hair and a very finely trimmed beard. And then another gentleman seated in the corner up in here who appears to be either Polish or Russian or something of the sort, who is quietly sitting there reading a newspaper.
okay. Do any of them look like I mean, we know what he looks like, right? We have a picture.
You have a photograph of him, yes,
Okay.
and that is this gentleman right here,
Okay.
Heinrich Bruhl.
All right, so he is here. Okay, good.
Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna sit down. Well, I suppose I'll wait for the Baron, right? The Baron's probably supposed to see first. So,
The Baron is going to take a seat, honestly, right where Darkwing is,
Okay.
positioning to listen.
okay. I'm going to sit over here.
If I'm supposed to be the bodyguard, I probably want to stay sort of the end of
Yeah.
the table. I think right where I am is good.
I think I'd probably be across from
The
my,
Baron, indeed.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas, we're just moving you all over the place here, buddy.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, I'm observing these officers, very carefully.
I would imagine you would be at the table as we discuss business. Like, we're not just going to sit. I don't see us sitting silently. That's too conspicuous.
Mhm.
But
No, I do.
Right.
I mention. I say, my friends, are you familiar with these military officer types? Have you had the pleasure of meeting them before?
Oh, not personally. We haven't met these particular guys in game as individuals, have we? Just
No.
I ain't met these guys personally, but I know the type.
Yes. Be wary of your words and actions. Do try not to do anything that attracts too much attention, if you know what I mean.
I look at Geo and say in German, "They are here for our protection and for the glory and for the protection of the Reich."
Yeah.
You would do well to not incite anything with them.
Exactly. That is exactly. You've interpreted my own speech perfectly. That's what I meant.
Shelly will just toss her hair a little bit. Draw attention? Me? Never.
So as you guys are sitting there, you're next to the lower level officers at the table next to you, and you make out their conversation. They're basically just talking about home. These two guys apparently grew up together. They've known each other for quite some time. They have a rather uh, distinct kind of high school buddy camaraderie, but they're
Are they
quiet.
are they well
As
built?
both
Would you
well
say
built.
they probably lift quite a bit?
Yes, they are here to pump you up.
I was waiting for that.
Oh,
I was
God.
waiting for that.
Awful.
So
Oh.
Hans and Franz are their names.
Oh.
You hear them speak to one another, and you're able to at least pick up their first names. And they're just talking about home and wanting to get back on leave for a little while and spend a little bit of time with the with some old high school flings of theirs. And so they're basically just shooting the shit, but they're trying to keep their voices down so as not to draw the ire of their superior officers at the table across from them. Just out of respect, they're trying to keep their voices down and not make a big scene, but they're kind of goofing off in their own little way. Brule and his captain that's with him are sitting silently. Brule is reading a book, and Dieter he's pulled out a dagger and is just kind of twirling it in his fingers.
Hmm. You know what? I would ask something, but I don't think she's got the depth of perception to really.
Well,
She's gonna notice that dagger, though.
Hector, sitting over in the corner, I kind of want to watch and see if anyone else is giving kind of any undue attention to Heinrich specifically, but just kind of want to suss it out a little bit.
Yeah, make an intuition feat. Yep.
Lux is actually trying to catch the face of everyone in the car, just to see if there's anything that pops out to her from intelligence, and studying things like that, like any known players.
Yeah,
Within-
Shelly's just watching
within
for
the
moves. She doesn't know enough to be able to judge off stuff like that.
Sean, make an intuition feat, and you can add a column shift onto that for your espionage.
Okay, let me use the buttons down there since I'm doing shifting. Ooh, a yellow.
Okay. So the guy sitting off by himself in the upper left-hand corner of the car, the one that looks to be perhaps Polish or Russian, reading his newspaper. You pick up from him just ever so slightly that he is a bit uncomfortable and slightly shifty. His eyes will very quickly jet off to the side, looking towards the SS officers from time to time.
Well, if he's Polish, that's not out of question.
Oh, sure.
Sure. But he doesn't necessarily seem to be scared. Just a little bit on edge.
You say he was reading something?
Yep, newspaper.
In German?
Yeah.
Oh, regular paper. Okay.
What about the gentleman to the lower right?
He is sitting there with a cup of tea, and he's got a book in front of him as well.
Oh, Pierre?
Mm-hmm.
And Dieter has the dagger, right?
Yep. And the Pierre, the older gentleman with the well-coiffed beard, he has a black satchel seated next to him.
Dieter is a captain? Did I hear that correctly?
Dieter, yes. Hmm.
Okay. This is a question because Sean doesn't know. As a baron, do I have any pull if Dieter decides to like be a Nazi, more or less? Like, does he have any? Am I deferent to him or vice versa?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
As a baron,
Hmm.
what is the general relationship with the military?
Ah, okay. Um, I guess it depends on what side of the line that you're actually on, because I'm certain that there were members of the hierarchy that maybe did not abide or approve of the machinations of the Nazis during that time period.
Okay. Well,
But
I'm
I would
playing one that is,
okay,
so
yeah.
that's my idea.
Hmm. So I would say, that they probably don't give you much notice, and they are probably used to individuals like yourselves sharing, the mode of transport on a train like this.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm. So they bring out dinner, and you guys are able to kind of feast for the night. It's a roast duck, so pretty fancy. But you guys are, since you're a baron and so forth, and then you've got the German SS officers here. They're treating you well here on your travels. There's a nice uh, Burgundy wine that comes along with the meal as well. Um, and nothing much really to take note of other than what we've already discussed here with these particular individuals. They have their meals, and then slowly but surely they begin to retire to other quarters. Um, Ivan and Pierre kind of just maintain their spots, but when the SS officers finish their meal, they begin walking towards the back of the car. So they walk through the alt sleeper car and continue on past there. So I'll let you guys decide what you want to do.
Well, is Ivan? So Ivan is getting up to go, or
No, he's sticking there, and
does
he's finished his meal and he settles back into his newspaper.
does he seem to relax a little bit after the officers leave?
Make an intuition.
All right, let's see if I can make it this time. Because, geez, nope.
He seems fine.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I try to like catch his attention and like have a friendly, nod, like, hey, yeah.
Um, you catch his eye, and he basically just nods
Yeah.
and doesn't say anything.
And I'll say the duck was quite good, wasn't it?
Duh.
In German. In German.
In German. He responds in German. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's tight.
Okay. Okay.
Shelly eats and drinks a lot. It's very good.
So does the human tank. He spent an awful lot of the past couple of months in Egypt having, falafel. So, you know, sausage and mashed potatoes is probably really good for him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shelly is using the food as a, sort of a distraction, but she's trying to keep an eye and make sure that nobody makes a move towards where those guys went.
Hmm.
She's not really sure what else to do unless somebody smarter is gonna like say, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do."
Well,
Now, of course,
the
the guy we're
standard car,
supposed.
the
Sorry, go
car.
ahead.
I'm sorry. The standard car is where everyone just kind of sits and socializes, right?
Correct. And about
Okay.
2 minutes after the SS officers leave, Pierre stands up, folds his napkin, and places it neatly on the table, picks up his black satchel, and then he exits the car in the direction of the standard cars as well.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. So now Heinrich is who we're supposed to protect, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. So I'll stand up and I'll walk by and I'll pause at the table and I'll say, Herr Baron, I'm my apologies. I forgot something in our car. I'll be right back to
The
give me
Baron
some
nods
reason,
to you,
and then
and
I'll
then he
start following.
and then he will turn to Bombshell and say in German, "Let's socialize a bit." And he nods towards where the standard car would be.
Okay. She will nod and get to her feet with a tiny bit of a tipsy sway, and bring her glass with her.
I assume our bodyguard is with us.
Yep. Looks like he's coming.
He's already pre-checking the hallway.
Sorry, I keep muting when I'm talking. Yeah, I
Hmm.
was just moving ahead, but I'm planning to move with you guys.
He
Now,
would have.
Johnny, go
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
I'm sorry. The Baron would have also indicated his guests. He, he could join us if you wished, or he could retire to the car. It is up. It is up to you.
And Johnny, did I understand you were going to go back to the sleeper car? Is that right?
Well, I was trying to come up with an excuse to get up and walk after Pierre,
Okay.
because I'm trying to check on Heinrich. So
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, we're
All
all
right.
going in the same direction towards Heinrich. So
All right. So Pierre is walking through the standard car and heading to the exit on the other side. Once you get into the first standard car here on the right, the second one up, you walk in and you notice that there is kind of an interesting sight in here. There's a nice looking couple off to your left as you come in. Young, probably in their mid 30s. And as you pass, you uh, hear them speaking, and it is certainly French that they're speaking. So seem to be French natives. And then as you continue in through the car, there's a group of little girls in there, accompanied by another couple, a larger man with a nice full bushy mustache, kind of looks a little bit like Johnny right now, uh, and a woman that appears to be in her maybe early 30s, with a very tight bun, her hair tied in a very tight bun on top. With them are six young girls, ranging in age, you would guess, maybe from about 9 to 13. And they're all very slight of build, and just at a glance, it's almost too easy to figure that these are all ballet dancers. Uh, and as you pass them, you pick up on a different language as you're passing. These individuals sound like they are probably Russian.
There's a shock.
Oh,
Pierre
Bourgeois ballet, baby.
Pierre moves into the next car, and he takes a seat in the alt standard car just below you. And so that's where he has gone at this point. Lucas, are you accompanying the group?
while they're all doing that, I'm thinking, wow, this is looking pretty obvious. Maybe a little too obvious.
There's two standard cars. They're
Yeah,
either
two-
so it's where everyone goes. So I don't personally don't see it as obvious, but your mileage may vary.
Is let me see here. If you go to the left off the dining car, does that go to the empty cargo car or the alt standard car? As a wide...
That goes, if you go to the left, like heading this way, that would take you to the empty steerage car up here.
Over, let me see. So it would go down here, right?
Oh, no, I apologize. No, I'm sorry. I'm going backwards. So if you exit out the left of the dining car, that would actually take you into the first class car up above you.
Oh, the first class car. Oh, okay.
So the standard car goes into the alt standard car, and then I'm guessing the bank car is probably a little more secure.
Right. And those were the two that you were told were off limits. Yes, Sean.
I just kind of want to throw this out as an out of character reminder. We're all traveling together. It feels like we're trying to overthink a little bit about the fact that about what moving through the car together looking obvious.
Yeah,
We're supposed to be together.
Yeah, that's why we came up with a story where we were all part of a group.
So I feel like we're overthinking the spy aspect of it a little bit in terms of moving around. So unless there's a reason one of us wants to go off into parts unknown for whatever reason, it makes sense that we're all in the same place.
We're all going to the standard car together to
hang out.
To hang out, right?
To hang out. Okay.
Or the
Like
alt standard car. There's two cars, and it's our choice to hang out where. And I know the Baron isn't going to hang around a bunch of kids.
Also of note, the sleeper car, we don't have. They aren't little staterooms. They're just beds. So it's not like unless you want to lay down, there's not a lot to do in the sleeper car. I mean, I suppose, the Baron and I might have something to do, but the rest of you...
Not in a single bed.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, dear?
So
Lost it with my knees.
In the regular standard car, those individuals that I spoke of are the only ones that you spot in there. So you have to assume that Pierre and the SS officers moved on to the alt standard car.
Well, that's where the Baron would be going, and the consort and the bodyguard would come with me because, like I said, kids, ew.
Commoners.
All right.
It's not necessary about commoners. Kids.
Okay.
Heidi, on the other hand, thinks they're darling.
I'm sure. I can hear her biological clock ticking from the other end of the car. But
All
the
right, so
Baron would go through and probably enter and then get the lay of whatever.
Okay. Yeah, and once you get inside the alt standard car, there are two other couples. One other couple. You see that Pierre has taken a seat towards the front of the car. Directly behind him, with his back to him, is another gentleman that appears to be in maybe his mid-50s, dressed in a tweed suit, sitting by himself. And then another couple, about midway down the car, appear to be maybe in their late 30s, early 40s, male and female couple there. And then in the back of the car, right next to the entrance that leads to the bank car, are the SS officers, including Heinrich Bruhl.
And he's the one we have to actually protect.
Yep.
Okay.
The Baron would actually probably take a seat across from the couple.
Okay.
In the vicinity, but not right up against the SS officers.
Okay. Well, I'll sit in this next booth then.
Okay.
And just kind of watch.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't want to be sitting in the same booth as the Nazi, so I'm just going to sit over here directly across from, or almost across from the person I'm supposed to be guarding.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right, I'll do the same.
All right, the SS officers are kind of talking amongst themselves right now. They're speaking some business, if you're eavesdropping a little bit, but
Of
they're
course we are.
they're not really revealing anything, of any kind of top secret type information. Of course, they're in a public place. Flux, if you would roll an intuition feat for me.
With or without the espionage boost?
With, please. Okay. So you got a yellow. You can tell that these individuals, all four of them, have taken these particular seats for a reason. Hans and Franz, especially, are not very good at hiding it, but they have a tendency to eye the door that leads off to the bank car quite often. Heinrich and Dieter are a little bit more at ease and nonchalant about it. Their eyes do not tend to wander very much, but the other two keep their eye on that door. And the camaraderie that they shared in the other room, the kind of joking around and a little bit more joyous feel that they had, has gone completely. And they appear to be all business here.
Indeed.
Peggy
And
didn't
I
say
think
anything about what this train was carrying, did she?
No.
Okay.
No. Really, it is just a passenger train. They just happen to have this bank car on there right now, but there's no intel as to what it might, what might be concealed behind that door. But with that yellow roll, Flux, that you got, there's a hint of nervousness coming from Hans and Franz.
Kind of like afraid to screw up nervousness?
More just uncomfort about where they are and just being here right now.
I turn to speak with my guest, the journalist,
Okay,
and
he's paying attention.
I'm just generally talking about life in the barony, but I try to get eye contact with you
Mm-hmm.
and shoot really quick looks towards that door as I'm discussing with you.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm taking notes, and I nod, and I look over at the door,
Mhm.
and so I continue, our notes,
I make
and
a random comment about the estate that we live in, and it's something along the lines of it's so big. Sometimes I don't necessarily even know what's behind certain doors.
I nod. Well, how interesting, how interesting, her Baron. Um, perhaps, and he chuckles and laughs and says, "Well, perhaps you should reacquaint yourself with your property. Maybe you should do a tour. Um, and perhaps I could go with you, or you'd permit me to go alone to look. Um, I don't want to interfere with your business."
I think one something along those lines should probably be arranged once we return to the barony, of course.
Of course. Well, um,
And he turns over to his blushing consort and throws her a wink.
yeah. Well, okay. So here's what I want to do. So I did have, a glass of wine, I suppose, with dinner, and perhaps that's hitting me a little strong right now. And so I want to, kind of, put on that I'm getting a little drowsy, and get comfortable in this seat because they look like kind of plush seats. Is that what I'm picking up from?
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to snuggle down in the seat, and I'll pull my hat down a little bit over my nose since the Baron's deep in conversation with his consort, and I'm going to use astral projection.
Okay.
And I want to.
Not roll a white this time.
I'll spin karma. I want to astrally project, and let me just pull up here real quick. And I want to go through that door. So let me just see. Let me just make sure what I need to do here.
As he's doing that, I'm actually not as focused on my consort. I'm actually trying to make small talk with the Chassiers a little bit.
Okay.
Just nothing probing, just
Okay. So
trying to be a
I'm not.
distraction.
Sure.
So I'm not under duress, or am I?
I don't believe so.
Okay, and I'm not during combat, so it says I don't have to make a feat roll to project. So I'm going to just snuggle down in that seat real quick, and let that wine kind of wash over me, and then I'm going to astrally project, and I mean my body stays there, but I'm gonna slide through this door because I'm, obviously immaterial and invisible.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, unless there's a ward there. I don't know. Maybe there's something there.
No, you're able to pass through, no problem.
Okay.
You get into the bank car, and it is, for the most part, an empty car. The floors and ceilings, walls are all made of steel, and basically unpainted. I mean, it's kind of a shiny metal plate that everything is made out of in here. Very well secured. In the center of the car, there is a large, for lack of a better description, it seems like almost a cage that is actually suspended by chains.
Okay.
And I don't know in astral form if you can what your senses are other than sight. I mean, if you are
Okay.
able to smell, I really don't know.
Okay. Let's look
But
here if it mentions. But go ahead.
I think for sake of the storytelling of it, when you do come into the room, you are aware of a presence in the room, and
Okay.
it is certainly coming from that cage. And you kind of detect a note of sweat in the air,
Uh-huh.
um, body odor that verges on perhaps the smell of almost like a wet dog.
Okay. Okay. Well, I move over to that uh cage. I mean, is it man-sized or person human-sized or?
It's probably about 8 feet by 8 feet.
Oh, okay. So it's person-sized. I mean, bigger than a person, but is it like I mean, there are bars, like I can see through it?
Yeah, there are bars on the side that are roughly about maybe 6 inches tall that kind of create a little window there. Other
Uh-huh.
than that, it's completely solid.
Well, I mean, I mean, it's 8 by 8, so I like poke my head in, like poke my face through to kind of see what's in there.
All right. Laying on the floor of the cage is the body of a man, kind of curled up and uh, seems to be sleeping. But as you poke in, you hear him go, he sniffs, and he's like, I can feel you in here.
Oh shit.
uh, I don't say anything. I just let him carry on. What does he look like?
He sits up, and he's a man short of stature, with lots of body hair. And his hair is a bit of a mess, but it kind of comes up to 2 points on either side.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. So there's a guy who's in a impossibly secure cage. And that's all that's in here?
That's it. It's the only thing in here. He's got a pot to piss in inside there, and that's about it.
And that's barely it. Okay.
And he sniffs again. And he's like, I feel you, bub. What do you want?
Well, I don't know who that is, but
Let us out of character nerd a little bit.
yeah.
Eve, screw the mission, save him.
Yeah. Well, okay, so well, no one said anything about rescuing somebody else, right? Just protecting Heinrich.
That's correct.
And do we know anything about why Heinrich is here? I mean, I know he's a spy, he's a double agent, blah blah blah, but we don't know anything about his mission on this train or anything like that.
No, everything that he is doing under the guise of being an SS officer is top secret, and he has certain orders that he was given going into it. But what he's doing in the
Right.
process of all of this, they have no
Right.
idea.
What's the
He
But we
destination
don't
on
know
this?
anything. We don't know anything about any of that, and honestly, we don't care. We're just here to keep him from getting killed.
Yep.
Right. Mhm.
Where's this train headed?
Into Poland now.
Okay. So
His
this isn't the one that's going to Zemo's place?
his destination is very close to Saragor.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I think okay. All right. So I don't say anything immediately because I'm a little stunned that somebody has noticed me, and I'm not even manifest. Um, so I'm gonna pass through him, and then I'm gonna go peek in this last car.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, okay, let me take that back. I try to pass through him. Does that work out all right? Or
You go through him, and he's like, "Quit fucking with me."
okay. All right. I don't say anything yet.
Oh,
And I
this is-
peek in this last car.
All right, you peek in the last car, and that is essentially a storage car. That's where all the luggage and all that sort of stuff is being kept.
Okay.
Anything that people are bringing with them.
Okay, no gold bullion. The Ark of the Covenant's not back there. No, no other like secure box that might hold some magical artifacts that I mean, I'm just looking around.
I'll give you the time to look, and unfortunately, nothing of any extreme value or
Okay. Okay.
any arcane items for sure.
Okay. All right. So then I I come back to the man, the unknown man, the unnamed man in the cage. And so I'll poke into the I'll step into the cage, and the doors are all locked, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't see anything that okay, it's the 40s. Okay, so there wouldn't be cameras, right?
Right.
Okay. So then I'll manifest in the cage in my kind of my idealized hero guise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say I am quite surprised, friend, that you could detect me.
What the fuck are you supposed to be?
Well, so all right, let me just, he sounds not German.
Not
Right.
German. Mm-hmm.
Sounds kind of American.
Kind of American.
Western, right?
Yeah.
I say, well, friend, it looks like I might be the only friend you've got on this damn train. And if the Germans have you locked up like this, I might not want them to do that.
Well, you got good instincts when it comes to that. Get me out of here, will you?
Well, I look around. Okay. All right. So steel cage. What are you gonna do if I let you out of here?
I'm gonna rip those fucking Germans to shreds.
Oh, see. What if I can get you off the train and leave the Germans to us? To me. He corrects himself. He does say us, and then he says to me.
Because he's a
no
spy.
spy. Yeah.
So there's more of you on here, huh?
Nope. Just me.
Nah, don't lie to me, bub.
That is out of character. That is a moment straight out of a Marvel movie. I swear.
It totally is a
Probably Ant-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Nope. Just me.
Sorry, and
Well, I mean, you know, I'm never alone. I'll put it that way. The three always protect me. So
So what are you anyway?
he strokes his chin for a moment, and he chuckles. He says, "Well, apparently I'm your friendly ghost." So, is he chained up in here, or is he just
No,
he's just in the box?
just in the box. Yeah.
Okay.
What's keeping
Why-
him? Oh, he doesn't have the.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Right.
No, this is pre that procedure, I think.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Sorry, forgot my history.
right. This would have been bone claw time.
His healing factor's real good right now.
Yeah. So. All right. So he lowers his voice, right? Because I think they did have microphones and shit like that, right, in the 40s. So he lowers his voice and he crouches down even, and he says, "We're here. I'm here on a mission, and you're not part of it. but no one says I can't help you because you seem like a friend, or at least an ally, I suppose. Why are you here?
The Kraut's got a hold of me. Too many of them ganged up on me. Got me in this cage.
Okay.
They're taking me into Poland to do experiments.
Why? Who are you?
Yeah. Name's Howlett. James Howlett. Canadian.
Hey, Jim. I'm sorry, James. And he sticks his his phantom hand out and shake it. You can call me Hank.
Hank.
Yeah. Let's see here. How can I get you out? He thinks for a minute. How long until we get to Poland? Do I know? Do I have any idea how long?
You know roughly about the travel time that you were given, which was about 18 hours, and you're about 2 hours in right now.
Oh, okay, so less than a day. Okay, okay. Okay, well, listen, James, let me figure out how I can get you out of here. And I will do my best to get you out.
Who are you working with?
And he kind of chuckles. He says, well, Uncle Sam, obviously.
I can tell by the accent.
I'm more of a freelancer. I'm more of a freelancer, a consultant, if you will. But
he totally thought you were a professional spy.
it was on purpose. Okay, let me see here. Okay, well, let me... does he look injured at all, or... I know the answer, but...
Not a bit.
Okay, well, listen, try and stay as safe as you can, and I'll be back, I promise. I give you my word, but don't mention, obviously, seeing me.
I'm taking you at your word.
Okay. Well, that's good. Because words are power, James. Words are power. Okay, I'll be back.
I'm counting.
So then he floats back to his body, a little confused why there's a guy chained up and in good shape, not tortured. And then he kind of rouses. He settles back into his body, and he kind of rouses. Oh. He snores himself awake. And he turns to the Baron. He says, "Oh, Herr Baron, my apologies. I suppose the wine was stronger than I thought. I suppose the German wine is perhaps, or let's see, was it German or French? He'll probably say the wrong thing on purpose. It's a little stronger than I expected."
And I'm going to pause right there for just a moment. We're going to backtrack just a little bit because, Sean, you had mentioned that you were wanting to talk to the Chaussiers.
Yeah.
You
I'll be right back.
break into a little bit of conversation with them. And
You said they were French?
Yes, they are French.
I'd like to. I will talk to them in French.
Okay.
With a German edge.
You are able to learn a little bit about this couple. They are French-German translators, French natives, and they are traveling into Poland to find work, to translate for the German soldiers with some members of the Polish regime there in order to discuss matters of great importance. Um, both of them were raised in East Germany, but were born in France, met while they were in college, and then moved back to France. And when the war began and German occupation arrived, they quickly adjusted what they were doing at the time, which was basically just running a little novelty shop there in Paris, and offered their services up to the Germans because they feared
Survival.
For their own lives. Now, you get a little hint of the fact that they may be on two different sides of the fence, and it's a little bit unspoken between the two of them, but Henri maybe leans towards being a bit of a German sympathizer. Where is it Diane? I think it was Diane, right?
Diana, yeah.
Yeah, Diana is a little bit more conservative in her dialogue with you.
I just don't have the dialogue. Are you talking to the chasseurs about sauciers?
I'm listening closely in case anything looks like it might get threatening, but mostly it's rich people talking.
Yeah, that's pretty much the case.
Yeah. I make a point of commending them for their service.
No, and they thank you heartily. Bombshell and Human Tank. Human Tank, I know you said you were just kind of listening in, but probably wasn't holding your attention very, very much. The SS officers.
I managed to hold my tongue and not say, your cooperation with our regime will certainly be remembered when this war is over. I did not say that, but boy was I tempted.
SS officers are still, maintaining their conversation, and they've quieted down a little bit, and are the two higher-ranking officers now are back in their books, as Hans and Franz are just kind of sitting there and making small talk to one another, but still with an air of nervousness about them. And at this point, if we want, we can now kind of bring us back to the present and Mr. Arcane coming back to his body.
Is this a good spot for us to take a quick bio break?
Oh, sure. If we need to, yeah, that would be fine. Yep.
Right.
We'll take a quick 5.
All right. Be right back.
Okay.
Dreamslayer Studios presents a wide selection of live tabletop role-playing game campaigns, specializing in fresh new independent games like Tales from the Loop and the Great American Novel, as well as traditional games, such as the original Marvel Superheroes RPG by TSR and Savage Worlds. Our Game Master works hand in hand with the players to create one-of-a-kind original stories that are jam-packed with intense battles and in-depth character development that rely on creative and collaborative communal storytelling. So, if you're in the mood for something a little different than the typical Dungeons & Dragons fan, look no further than Dreamslayer Studios' RPG podcast. Available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and anywhere you consume your live play RPGs.
All right, so we'll swing back into it here with Mr. Arcane coming back into his body and pick up with the conversation there where we left off with Flux.
Okay.
Do I get the sense that in talking to these people and how they answer questions, you'd said that the lady was conservative?
Yeah.
Is she hiding something? Do I get that sense?
You get the sense that she doesn't want to disagree with her husband.
Ah,
I mean, it's the 40s.
right.
But also, maybe she didn't want to do this, but doesn't have a choice.
Okay,
Yeah, that
other direction. Do I get the sense that the husband's a little more into it than a citizen just trying to make their way? I mean,
yeah,
there's a difference between sympathizer
Mhm.
and being a full-blown dirty crowd,
Right.
to use human tanks vernacular.
I think that perhaps just through the discussion that you had, he sees this potential job that they're taking as a way in.
Hmm.
So they have a job lined up already.
Hmm.
Is it anything you're allowed to share, or would this be one
Well,
of those classified things?
th- he says that they are basically going to be working with the German military in order to help smooth relations with the Polish government.
That's gonna be a tall order.
Mhm.
Is this pre or post Warsaw? Cause
Oh, quite
damn,
post.
son, you
Yeah.
got a job
Quite
ahead of
post.
you.
Well, propaganda by any other name.
Hmm. Well,
Okay. I continue to I continue to make light discussion, but just kind of trying to keep a eye out first for Mr. Arcane
Mhm.
till he gets back, and then just kind of make sure I know my surroundings,
Sure.
so to speak.
But at this
Okay.
point, I think Arcane has returned, so I'll let you guys play that out.
Okay. So he does wake himself up with a snore and a start. And it's oh my apologies here, Baron. I suppose the wine was a bit too strong for my sensibilities.
He chuckles. We take our wine seriously over here.
I see that. I see that. I had a strange dream. A
Oh,
strange dream.
what time is it out of character?
About 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. But it
I
has
shall
been a,
have to write it.
or you
Go
can do
ahead.
that.
Go
No,
ahead.
I was going to suggest that it was getting a little late for us, and it was time to retire it was time to retire. But no, by all means.
No, perhaps that is for the best. That is for the best. I should perhaps take my rest. With your permission, of course.
Oh, by all means. I think Liebchen, I think it's about time for us to go to bed.
of course.
And as you guys are discussing that, the two senior officers next to you stand, and they haven't really been paying attention to what you are. It just is happenstance. They stand. Brule addresses the two younger officers and addresses Hans, and he says, "Corporal, you'll take first watch." And Hans stands, salutes, and takes his place standing, basically, right in front of the door here. And the other three officers begin their trek back to their first class quarters.
I'm going to look at Urbanum, aka Flux, and say, well, if there is something dangerous here, as your bodyguard, I should not be talking in a fake German accent because I'm supposed to be under a spell. If there's like some danger here, we should go. I'm sure that Hans will protect you. But if he doesn't, I will. I'm just seeing if Hans reacts at all to that. If he thinks of what might be going on.
He you say that loud enough for him to hear you, I take it then,
Deliberately,
yes.
yes, I'm trying to
Okay.
provoke a reaction.
All right.
Human, tank, and subtle do not go well together under any circumstances.
He
Oil
was
and
not
water.
built to be subtle.
he Hans snaps his heels and he gives you the Seaguile.
I return it and feel horrible doing so.
As does the Baron. Carried on. Sits. When I do that, I'm also trying to get a really good look at Hans's face.
Okay, yeah. Looking for anything particular?
Memorizing would probably be a
Gotcha.
better word to use.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So is the plan to move then back to your sleeper car?
For the moment, and then I'm gonna. Well, I guess we should discuss it, but I have a proposal.
All right. I'll move the group.
Yeah.
Mr. Arcane has another one of his brilliant ideas.
You know, it's inspired for sure. There are windows in these cars, right?
Yep.
These are windows here.
Yep.
Are they locked?
No, you can open them.
Are they big enough for a person to get out of?
Yes.
So, once they're back in the car, and I look around, right, conspiratorially, to see if anyone is, like
In the car with
peeking
us.
yeah, in the car or peeking like through the the windows of the doors or whatever, and I'll lower my voice and I'll keep talking loud for the mic and all, but so he'll lower his voice and he'll get in kind of close and it's like they have a prisoner in that car. That's the only thing in the car. There's a man in surprisingly good shape, an American, who's in a cage, and he says his name is James, and they're taking him to Poland to experiment on him. Now, the surprising thing to me is that he was able to detect my astral form, which I did not get the impression he was a fellow mystic, and I don't think I've ever had anyone do that before. Now, if he's their prisoner, as far as I'm concerned, he's probably our friend.
I don't want anybody
So-
to get experimented on. That
Right.
sounds awful.
We gotta go now. He's a POW.
Right.
We're rescuing him.
Right. So there are limits on what I can do without my body to channel my my magic through. So what I propose is I can slip out the door here, the window rather here, and sneak or fly over the car and try and come in from either the backside of the train, or I could perhaps make a hole in the roof and free him. And I don't know. I really hadn't gotten much past that. Free him and let him make his way, like I could put him off the train and he could make his way back. I mean, we don't know what our target's mission is. I don't know if it's related to that, but honestly, our job is just to keep him from being killed.
We also don't know. We also don't know what safeguard measures are in that cabin for somebody who's not incorporeal.
Oh no, I passed right through it. It's fine. Oh, you mean for that?
No, I mean a human being in there.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, maybe you should take me with you if you can figure out a way to do that, because there ain't much that can hurt me.
Well, I have an incantation, one of the three, that should be able to um, open the cage.
Well, let me ask you, gentlemen, a question. I just kind of dropped the German for a second because
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
if I can replace the guard, how quickly can you A, get him out of sight, and B, get in and out? Because I got a really good look at the only person guarding that car right now.
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I can tell you that I don't think the cage was mystically warded. I passed right through it.
How much longer do we have on this train?
Another
About
Another
16
12 hours at least. 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, we have
But if-
to handle the other thing, the reason we're here.
Yeah.
The unintended downside, of course, is that if that's our secret friend mission, we might compromise his situation by making a mess of things.
You think
This is
his
why-
mission is the POW? That he's gonna rescue him?
No. She's like double checking, triple checking, making sure nobody's around to hear. She's like, no, I'm just worried that he's like, like he's pretending to be an SS officer, and this is obviously his detail, right? He's supposed to escort this
yeah.
prisoner. If we lose the prisoner, then MI6 might lose their in if he gets demoted or killed or whatever the hell they do to people that fail their missions. I don't know. I heard all kinds of stories.
They're probably true. I saw what Zemo did anytime a guard dropped his key.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, don't get me wrong, not leaving him in there. But we got to figure out how we're going to work this somehow.
This
We
is
got to
why
make it look like he got on his own. Well, even then.
This is why we need to do this in the middle of the night when there's only one guard there,
Yeah.
and it minimizes the chance that things go south, so to
But
speak.
we also have to watch that car, because if I was an assassin, I would make my move when everybody else is asleep.
Well, I could astrally kind of eavesdrop or spy on our target, or safeguard him, however you want to phrase that. He wouldn't be able to detect. Well, I mean, an hour ago I would have said no one could detect me, but I've never seen anyone else do it.
Okay. Well, that seems like the right thing to do, right? That has to be our. I'm not saying the other thing isn't a priority, but that has to be our first priority.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Honestly, I think any of the rest of us can probably get the other guy free. If it comes down to going loud.
Right.
Quiet-wise, I don't know.
I think I could do it quietly, but I couldn't necessarily do it like there would be a hole.
Well, I think that
This is what I'm thinking. The guard currently there is probably handling half the watch. His partner is probably handling the other half. I got a good look at the first half. So if we wait till roundabout a little bit after the guard change, I could act as distraction while you, pointing to Mr. Arcane, do the necessary reconnaissance. I'm also skilled in quietly incapacitating an enemy.
Okay.
At least a little bit more quiet than you. She points at the tank.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Meanwhile, the rest. Let me finish, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For the rest of you remain here, near our target. That way, if something does go south, it's not all of us. And I'm pretty certain that I can, if things do go south, I could probably get away, reform as the Baron, and come back to where things are with neither the worse for wear.
Okay.
Okay, so are we going to focus on protecting our target now and then freeing that other target later?
Oh no, the goal is for him to be long gone before they check on him.
Okay.
But the best way to do it without immediately upsetting the apple cart is to do it in the dead of night and not with all guns blazing, all 5 of us storming the castle, so to speak.
Okay. Okay, so for now then, I'm sorry.
Flux, do me a favor, make an intuition roll with your espionage in place. Based on your military knowledge, when someone is taking watch and it's going to be split, they think about it in terms of how long a typical night's rest is going to take. Now, it was about 9 o'clock, a little bit after 9, when everyone started to retire from the standard car. You would assume that, 10 o'clock is probably about the time where they would be bedding down. So based on that, if you figured about a 4 to 5 hour window, that would be the changing of the guard somewhere within that time period. So you've probably got about 4 to 5 hours perhaps to kill here. I should have chosen my words better than that. But
I was gonna say, who we killing?
Well, depending on who we let our prisoner friend loose on.
Okay, so then for the time being, we're going to stick close to our asset, right?
Right.
So then what I'll do is I'll go and stand watch astrally, and if something happens, I'll come and alert you. But then that way I can be, literally in the same room.
How's your telepathy?
I am a mystic, not a psychic. That's a different guy.
Okay. Magically, how is your telepathy?
I have never tried.
Do you have a way of communicating?
I could perhaps send you a message. Yes. I could perhaps send you a message. My body is an anchor.
Mm-hmm.
I could perhaps send you a message.
And I would say,
but
on your magic roll with a green feat, you could send like maybe a very short, like maybe 3 to 5 word sentence.
I would accept now.
Help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Tom Cruise.
Basically, I want him to be able to tell me when the guard shift changes. Happens.
With a yellow, I would say you would be able to communicate more to them. With a red, you would have communication both ways.
Okay, well, so I was talking about watching over Heinrich because for the moment, and then if something happens, I alert everybody. But are you saying you want me to go down to Hans?
For us, not right away. Like you
Uh-huh.
can catch a couple hours Z before, but it would be helpful if I knew exactly when the change happened, so
Uh-huh.
that it's feasible that Hans would come back for something.
Okay. Okay. Well, are we going to be able to watch Heinrich though? I can't really be in two
That's
places.
That's what the rest of our team is for. We're right
Oh, okay.
next door.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can go and watch Hans and see when he when he changes, when the guard changes. I can do that. Yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
as
if those of you who aren't aware, I explain how watch works. So like basically like within 30 minutes of when it would change, if you
Mhm.
get there and it's already changed, great. Just
I forgot what I was going to say. If that's the case, the rest of the group, if Mr. Arcane takes watch in the alt standard car watching Hans, are the rest of the four of you going to stay in the sleeper car?
I think we want to be close enough that if there's a problem, we can get there quickly. But we
Well,
don't want to tip our hands, so.
I mean, we're not worried really about Hans. We're worried about trying to protect Heinrich just to our left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can go. I'm supposed to go and watch Hans to see when the guard changes, and then let you guys know so that Flux can, after a few minutes, go back and surprise the guy, and then we'll have access to the bank card. That's what I'm getting, right?
yes, that's the plan.
Yeah. And then the rest of you guys should probably stay in our sleeper car because it's right next door to Heinrich, and hopefully you'll hear trouble. Right?
Mm.
I'm worried that by the time we hear it'll be too late, though.
Well, so that's why I kind of wanted to stay astrally in Heinrich's car so that I
makes
can
more
Okay,
say,
sense.
Then what you're saying is we're leaving James alone for the night. is
for the
plan.
moment, yes, because we've got some hours.
Okay. I'm just saying, as a spy in game and as a major comic book fan out of game, you're not going to have a better chance to spring Logan during the
Mhm.
daytime hours when everybody's around. So if springing him is part of the goal, it kind of sort of needs to happen overnight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm down for that.
I mean, why don't we do that like now? Then.
Because I studied Hans, not Franz.
Right.
Well, but I mean,
And the entire idea is for me to be able to get close enough to distract him and lay him out quietly. I'm trying to be a spy here.
I know.
Because I don't know how many more opportunities I'm going to get to be a spy.
I was gonna say, and I don't know. Yeah. And I'm trying to let you be a spy.
I'm not that concerned about the safety of our primary target in the middle of the night. I'm more concerned about it in the aftermath, and that's when we can definitely be around him to help. But in the middle of the night, until they discover there's a problem, he's not going to have a problem.
Unless that's when
Am I
his
making
assassin
sense?
decides to shoot him.
Yeah. Okay.
If the assassin's in the first class car with him, he's dead already.
Right, but the thing is they can just come down from the what I don't know what this car is.
The other
here.
side. Yeah.
I will defer to the group at this point, but I honestly think out of character we're overthinking this.
I mean, we might be. I mean, that is a standard gamer situation.
That's what role players do. Overthink.
Okay,
I get it.
So here's a suggestion. So we can pass through the first class car, right? we're allowed to pass through?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a hallway.
So, I mean, could one of us go and, sit on the other side of the first class car? So I guess that would be in the galley, right?
If
Is
you
that the
really,
galley?
It would be right here in the dining
Mr.
car.
Arcane, if you want to spy on somebody, sneaking into their first class car and listening to their conversation nowish would probably be a good idea if they can't detect you.
Well,
Because I'm certain they are discussing the secret things in secret, where no one else is listening.
Well, I mean, he's our guy, so I don't really care about that. I just want to make sure no one sneaks in and kills him, because we're here to protect him from an assassination attempt, right?
Or
Yep.
such.
Out of character, I don't think I'm expressing myself well, so I will defer to the group at this point.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I just have a different opinion. But so, I mean,
Okay.
Mr. Arcane is not a spy, so I mean, if you, you tell him what you want him to do, and he'll go and sit and watch Hans. And
You don't need to do it for 4 hours. I'm saying go down like within a half hour of when the shift change would be, and just let me know when the shift change is.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do then. I say, okay, I got it. I see what you're saying. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I say, okay, well, my body will be defenseless. So please consider that. But I'm going to first go and sit in the first class car right next to Heinrich on is that a table or cushions? Astrally. I won't manifest, so no one should see me.
The rest of us should take shifts guarding Mr. Arcane. I don't think all of us having a sleepless night is a particularly good idea.
And so I'm going to sit there for like, I don't know, an hour or two. I mean, surely Hans won't be changing shifts anytime soon, and I can move impossibly fast astrally. So I'm just going to sit there, and I'll listen to what they're saying, or not, and I'll just kind of sit there and stand watch and make sure that.
I just realized how we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Okay.
Let me know when Franz leaves.
Oh, right, because he's the
for
guard.
first class car. Yeah. So yeah, that way you could just sit there, and we can kill 2 birds in the same spot.
Or hopefully not kill.
We can incapacitate.
Sure. Well, I mean,
1 stones.
Hopefully not get Heinrich killed, but okay. So I'll sit there, and let's see. I guess he's technically in a separate room, right? Franz is technically in a separate room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you sat like in the wall, then you'd be able to see.
Yeah, and I'll just look back and
everything.
forth.
Yeah.
I'll sit there, kind of floating, legs crossed, arms crossed.
Now, you said you would stay there for maybe about 2 hours or so, and then maybe check on Hans, correct?
Yeah, I'll do that because I can move very quickly, right? I mean, astrally, I can pass right through everything, and how I don't know what my travel speed would be astrally, but I
think it's literally, I think you can go back and forth between cars in 1 round easy.
Yeah, easily. And truthfully, you could probably just choose to stay in one place and just let the car catch up to you.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sit here. I mean, I'll be tired tomorrow, but that's fine. I'll sit here and I'll keep watch over Heinrich, because he's our guy, and I'll also just kind of listen to hear what I can hear. I mean, Heinrich's there in the room with, I don't think we know his name, but Dieter. And Franz is next door, so if Franz starts like screwing on a silencer, I'll be like, this looks bad.
Well, you probably don't want to know what Franz is up to in his little chamber by himself. It's rare that he has some alone time. But he pulls out a little German girly magazine, and you decide to give him his privacy for a little bit.
Like he's mad at it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Heinrich and Dieter have changed into their night clothes and are turning in at this point. Very little
Okay.
is said between the two of them, and they're beginning to bed down for the night.
Okay.
Those of you that are in the sleeper car, I need to know who is going to sleep and who is going to be guarding Mr. Arcane's body.
Bombshell doesn't really. I don't think she needs to sleep too badly. Remarkable endurance plus the whole fatigue toxins and regeneration and all that.
All right, so I'll put you over here.
Fortunately,
That's
in my human form, I need to rest pretty much like any normal human. And my tank form, I can only keep up for a short period of time. So I should probably take a shift so if a fight starts, I'm actually ready for it.
okay. All right, so human tank's asleep.
Yep, and I'm probably snoring loudly. Sorry.
Sorry.
My
Sorry,
endurance
not
is
sorry.
incredible. I don't know how that translates to soldiering on without sleep, but
Mhm. You'll certainly
ma-
be okay for several hours, without a doubt. So, uh,
Probably used to stakeouts and stuff like that, I would imagine.
mhm.
the
Lucas, what
Baron,
about you?
the Baron may just sleep in because he had a busy night.
Geo, what about you?
Well, so we're not taking different watch hours or anything though.
Yeah,
Well,
we are. That's the
yeah,
idea.
just was checking to see who was on watch first. Bombshell did say that she was going to stay up at least for the first bit. I didn't know if you wanted to join or if you want to catch some Z's while you're at it.
No, I mean, is there an open spot to cover all hours of the night? You know, whatever's needed would be probably the best.
Okay. So
Maybe second shift or something.
Bombshell and Flux are currently awake, and then we'll say that Steven and Human Tank are asleep. Is that amenable to everyone?
Sure.
Works for me.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sure. Well, and Mr. Arcane's awake.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
Well, sort of. He looks like he's asleep.
So that being the case, Bombshell and Flux, it's been about 2 hours or so at this point, and I'll have you both make an intuition feat.
I'm so
Ruh-roh.
amazing at these.
Like actually amazing?
With or
Like
without,
not.
with or without the spy kick.
I would say with.
Okay.
I haven't noticed yet.
Oh,
Oh, that's a bad time to blow it.
okay.
Oh no. Okay.
I was
Good.
saving the karma for my knockout shot later.
I get it.
I am
Right.
actually sitting right next to Mr. Arcane, though.
That's okay.
So, Mr. Arcane,
Yes, sir.
in your astral form,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have you roll an intuition for me, please.
Okay, I'm going to spend karma because one of us should. should
Truth!
Something?
Truth!
Okay. Hey!
There you
All
go.
right. Okay, so
let's see. What is let me look and see. What does 10 give me? Does that put me to red or no?
what's your incredible?
Incredible.
It does
Where's
not.
the table.
10 does not. It would take you. You need 11.
Okay, I'll spend 11, so I'll get a red. I'll choose to
Okay.
have a red.
You are kind of spending your time just kind of peeking. You're mostly focused on Heinrich.
Mhm.
But you kind of take a look back every once in a while just to see if Franz is stirring. And you look back in on him, and in the window in the upper right in his room, just towards the end of his bed.
Okay, right
You
here?
actually, right up in this area, right in here, in Franz's side.
Oh,
right
Franz.
there.
Okay, yep.
You swear you saw movement right outside that window, a dark shadow.
On the outside of the train?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I will hover outside and I'll like poke my head through the wall and I'll look.
Okay. All right. So you poke your head through the wall, and it has begun to snow outside. So the snow is just lightly falling, but in the speed that the train is going, it's coming by pretty quickly. Through the snow, you see two individuals that are suspended from the side of the train via a very thin rope line attached to the top.
Okay.
And if your eyes do not deceive you, seems to be two very young girls dressed all in black.
Oh shit!
Like the ballerinas?
Boy, they seem to be about the same size as those ballerinas that you saw earlier.
Comic book nerdery part 2.
I-
Russian
I-
ballerina. I can't believe I didn't.
Yep.
My nerdery skills crew is very weak, but I just know that young identical girls dressed in black are always bad news. That's just horror movie 101.
Okay, and they're outside of Franz's room.
Yep, and they are hanging off the side with their feet up against the wall of the outside of the train. And one of them, the one that's further away from you here, is reaching over towards the window and slowly beginning to pull it open.
Okay. All right, so I'll alert the others. And you said a green?
Yeah,
You,
a green just to shout a warning.
Okay. Okay, so I'll spend some karma. Okay, good.
Good thing you said that.
Good. Let's see. My table's not coming up here. Let me.
What's that? I linked it in the thing.
Oh, did you? Okay. Let me go to Zoom.
Oh yeah, I have to go back
Thank
in
you.
and put everything back
Okay.
in
Remarkable.
because
That's fine.
Foundry acted up on me when I had to reload everything.
It's all right. So I'll spend 20 something to get a green. And I'll say something's happening.
All right, you all
Okay.
received that message.
I will throw a blanket over Mr. Arcane's body. Make sure he just looks like any other sleeping passenger. And
And
Flux will proceed
Immediately
out
start
as
heading
the
this way.
Baron. Flux will as well as the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
okay. And I'll watch the girls. Well, I'm sorry, the small figures. And I'll watch to see what they're doing.
All right. So I have pulled up in the combat tracker, the combat encounters, which is Lucas. If you're not familiar with where that is, it's the two swords up in the menu on the top right. If you
All right.
click on that, then you can roll your initiative by clicking on the 20-sided die on the right-hand side.
All right. Ow.
Okay.
About usual, right?
what am I rolling?
If
Initiative?
you go to the initiative, if you go to the combat encounters, the two swords up at the top.
Does my
and
plus
then-
2 factor with the roll?
It does not. I'll add that to you.
I'm gonna reload. It's not responding to clicks.
Uh-oh. All right.
And I've got +3, Chris.
+3. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Human tank, what's your initiative bonus?
0.
All right. And then Geo, what's your intuition?
Let me see. I got what I was working here with. I got unearthly.
Oh my dear Lord.
Ah, damn.
Whoa.
I didn't know unearthly was an option.
It really,
Seriously, my strength's always
really-
amazing.
really
Incredible.
isn't. Yeah. If we can bump that down to monstrous, that would be great.
Yeah, I
Chris is
just
like,
with this creator thing here. Sorry,
That's
I mean,
all right.
after Darkwing, I thought I undercut my character a little bit.
but intuition is also like intuitive process, not just for this, right? I mean, it's used for intuitive knowing.
Yeah. Yeah. it
That's
is,
what
yeah.
it's based on.
But we do have kind of a cap at monstrous on any one ability for this. So
Okay, did not know. Gotcha.
Huh.
yeah, no problem.
I don't know why, but I can't click on anything.
Uh-oh.
Let me see here. No, select tokens. Yeah, that's all fine.
I'll
Yeah,
roll
but for
your
whatever
I'll
reason-
roll your initiative.
Yeah, go ahead and
you.
roll for me. I don't know what's going on.
And then what's your bonus?
None.
None. Okay. All
I only have a bonus against nuns.
right. Okay. So, in order of initiative, Flux, you are first.
Okay. I'm going to take position casually in front of Franz's door, and I'm just going to sit there and listen.
Okay. Eva, outside of the window out here, was the one that was opening the window. Veronica lithely slips into the room. And I'm going to roll for her real quick. Maybe. Roll agility. And she got a green. And she lands silently. Mr. Arcane, it is your turn.
Okay, so I'll poke my torso out and manifest so that the Baron can see me, and then I'll point back towards this door, kind of in the direction of the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. I don't guess do I realize they're females yet, or no, or
Oh yeah, no, you
I can't help
able
but
to
see
tell,
their
yeah.
their pictures, so I'm goofing a little bit, but I'll point back towards their direction.
Am I allowed to give him a quick gesture back?
Sure.
Points back to your body.
Okay. And so I'll point in that direction of the girls, and then I'll go get my body so that I
Okay.
can do stuff,
Bombshell.
Mm-hmm.
which I think is
Okay. So did I see the pointing that was going on?
Yeah, I would say you're probably just coming around.
You moved. I would imagine you moved pretty much with me. So
Yeah. Well, in that case, we'll hop up on top of the train.
Okay.
She's
So
standing up
cold
there
up
in
as
her
well.
nightgown, whipping in the freezing cold air.
let it
All
go. Let it go.
Exactly.
awful.
If that is the case,
To be fair, I have not made an awful joke yet tonight. I was due.
And do I see the lines?
you do see the lines, and just for sake of doing this, I'm going to create
There's a bunch
something else here. So I'm going to move you down just a little bit. We're going to treat the dining car here as the top of the train
Okay.
car.
Oh
Okay.
shit!
Sure.
You see 4 more girls dressed in
damn.
black. And 2 on one side of the train, 2 on the other. The 2 girls that are on this side of the train, the top side, are actually holding on to the lines for their sisters down underneath.
I really feel like a dirtbag protecting these Germans.
And
I know.
you can see the other 2 girls here on the other side. One of them is prepping up to go down on the other side of the train.
I don't suppose you girls speak English.
They all look over at you and say, one of them says something in Russian.
Damn it.
And they all take defensive poses.
Damn it.
Defense.
All right. So still your action.
I'm gonna. Oh man. It's terrible. I am going to move up towards them, and I'm gonna like hold my hands out, like, "No, stop what you're doing. You don't have all the information."
Just stop.
Yep.
Hey, what's that sound?
All right, we'll pause on you for a moment then and go to Stephen.
That is not going to work.
I mean, you
Tell you
gotta
right
try
now.
though, right? Like, hey,
I gotta try.
Can we talk about this?
Actually, when it comes to my turn, I'm actually, since I think I could probably speak Russian, I'm actually going to try diplomacy.
Okay. All right, Geo, it's your turn now, Geo.
Let's see. What would be a good thing to do here?
Well,
that's a good question.
wake up to start.
We're starting from that point. Okay. Well, who's gonna stay? Is Tank getting? Are you getting? Can I see Tank getting up, or is he staying in the unconscious state?
No, he would have woken up from the psychic scream. Yeah.
So Mr. Arcane's.
Am I
It
wrong?
was a statement more than a scream. It wasn't a scream exactly.
Hey! No, I'm not.
It
Screaming.
was an urgent missive, but not
Help!
not a scream, guys.
Russian dancers! They're my weakness! You ever heard
Like
that song,
cake.
Tiny Dancer? It's heart melting.
Hey,
Sean.
Mr. Arcane, have you heard about the tiny Russian dancers on the head of a pin that are out on the boxcar next door? So he's aware of them too, right?
He is aware of them, yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he's aware of them.
Now we don't know about the ones on the roof. We just know
Yeah.
something's happening.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell the other two, the Tank and Mr. Arcane here, we're going to investigate this, correct? We're all gonna go? Is that our plan?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, then I will just... Where is it? So wait, Flux, you're already in the car with them. Okay.
I'm actually outside. I'm in the same car as the 2, but not in the same room yet.
Yeah, I see. Is that... You're the only one up there, though, right?
Out of character,
Mm-hmm.
as someone who is plugged in with British intelligence, would I have any idea?
As to who they are, you can make a reason feat with.
I think I mean I know who the hell they are, but
Yeah.
or at
Oh,
least I'm reasonably sure.
Ballerina assassin spies. I mean, hey,
Okay, I got an idea here. For a dream. So I might as well I might as well say this out loud so the party will know what I could change into then, I guess, right? It won't matter.
Sure.
Okay, I guess I'll slip out the door. So we don't know that there's anybody outside the boxcar though yet, right?
Correct. Now you may have just heard. Make an intuition roll for me real quick. And the macros are at the very bottom, so whatever your intuition happens to be, I think it was incredible, correct? Or
Yeah.
no, sorry, it was monstrous. So if you roll on the monstrous column.
Which one is that?
It's the MN.
MN number 9.
MN. I only see 1 through 9.
Okay, then 9.
There's no. There's nothing
There's
in
nothing
the.
on
Oh,
there.
there's
He has to
okay.
pull those in, doesn't he? Because I remember
Yeah,
I did.
I thought that when I linked him up, I linked him to Darkwing's character, so I assumed that was already done. I guess I should have checked that beforehand.
Sorry.
I don't know what he was doing. So, if you want to, I can roll it for you. That's no problem.
Sure.
If you're okay with me doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
All right. So you
drop
got a
out in
68. Okay.
Try
Got a
again.
68, which is a yellow. You do hear a Russian female voice from up above you say something in Russian. You can just barely make it out over the wind that's rushing by.
Okay. She does not see anything. I don't see a face peering over the edge of the roof or anything. Correct, though.
That's correct.
All right. I will turn into energy.
Okay.
And I will float onto the top of the boxcar as a subtle energy form, just observing.
Okay. Now I'm going to move you right down here because that's where the top of the car is being represented. So from there, you see Bombshell holding her hands out in kind of a manner in which to try to quell the situation that's going on up here, and 4 young girls dressed all in black.
What is Bombshell doing exactly?
Just kind of holding her hands out and trying to keep them at bay.
And are they trying to move past her, or?
They are all taking defensive poses against her.
Okay, how much can we move? How much?
You've got basically 15 squares that you can move, so you can move front to back on this car with no issues, since there's nothing blocking your way.
Okay. I guess I will drift as energy behind them, so they can't see me, and just stay quietly as energy behind them, waiting to see what happens.
Okay. So about right in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be not observable, though.
Sure. Anastasia goes next, so it's one of the girls up on top. And she steps towards Bombshell, and she has a, let's see, what does she have? She has a pair of kama, 2 sickle-like weapons, and she comes in to take a slice at Bombshell across her stomach.
Wow.
Does the other one have hammers?
That's a different guy, man.
Oh, she got a white, so she missed. She takes the swipe at you and biffs it. Eva is next, and she swings into the room and lands next to Veronica. And she does so absolutely silent, like a little grasshopper. And then that rolls us to Human Tank.
Oh, I get to do something. Well,
Good luck figuring out what.
my mission is to protect Franz, and also I'm supposed to be bodyguarding Flux, so I'm going to the other car.
Okay.
Who are you guys?
And it's actually Heinrich whom you're charged to protect.
Oh, Heinrich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tanking on as I go.
Take on.
So the train is going to kind of go ka-thunk as they suddenly go from weighing about 160 pounds to closer to 500.
Spies like us.
I wave goodbye to our cover as it flies out the train window.
Goodbye, cover.
Well, I'm not much use as just a normal soldier. So,
Okay, I know what you mean.
and I assess the situation when I get in there. Are Veronica and Eva doing anything notably hostile right now?
Okay, so the way the train is kind of positioned here, where you're at right in this area here, there is a wall that separates this room that's in blue from the area that's in wood. So when you come in there,
Okay.
basically all you see is flux in the hallway.
Do I see tanked?
You see, you see him
Is that
tanked.
Yeah.
I look right at you and very sharply.
I nod and stop moving at about here, which is where I'd be seeing it. So I just thumbs up.
I thumbs up back like I'm
Click, click,
I
click,
mouth,
click. Ooh.
be ready.
All right, and then that then would roll around to flux then.
Okay, do I hear? Is the door unlocked?
If you check it, it is locked.
You see, my plan, if it was locked, was to yell for help.
Okay.
Because that's what the Baron would do in that case. But human fucking tank is right there.
It's good stuff. Superheroes pretending to be spies are the best.
I'm not pretending to be anything. I am a spy.
Oh.
Aren't you in great company? Don't you feel like you really, just
Like pull the short straw.
Does my
Peggy and I are gonna have words.
Does
Hold
my
on.
plasma gun make a loud noise when I shoot it?
He goes, pew!
Yes, would it do it in a way to wake people up?
No, I think it's quiet enough that it would probably not wake anyone.
I
especially-
I pull it, zap the lock, and stick it back into hiding again.
Okay.
I don't have time to fool around with lockpicking.
Okay. All right. Pew! You zap it.
Okay.
And do you want to open the door then at
Yes,
that point?
Yes, I do. When I do it, I look at whichever of the two looks like the in charge, and I say quietly in Russian, "State your business."
All right.
But
State your
I
business.
don't say it in. I don't use the Russian. I don't use the German accent. I use the Irish accent.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm going to go to Sophia.
I'm taking a risk here.
All right. I'm going to go to Sophia next, who is next in line in the initiative order, and then we'll come back to Veronica, who is in the room. Okay. Sophia is up top. She sees that her sister, Anastasia, has attacked Bombshell. She takes a defensive position in order to help box Bombshell in. And she draws a dagger out as she does and comes in with a lunge to Bombshell.
Already got a slash across the tummy. Okay, that was a
And she
stab.
misses. She misses
So
as
turn
well.
to the side. That one's like right underneath your bosom. There's now a slash mark.
Coming back to Veronica in the room in answer to your question or your command to state your business, Veronica whispers, "We owe you no explanation."
I mean, she's not wrong.
If you know what is good for you, run. Mr. Arcane.
Okay. Well, what a conundrum. Let's see. Well, I get up and I walk here because I know who's in there. I'll go down. I think I can make it down there. I'll go to this door.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'll listen at this door and make sure I don't hear anything in here now.
Yep. Don't hear anything.
Okay. And I will use a spell. I will use my energy control, magnetism, and I will make a shield for myself.
Okay.
Okay. So perhaps some iron filings or maybe a loose nail or screw starts orbiting around me
Okay.
is an indicator that something's going on.
All right. I go to Katerina, who is on top. She comes behind Anastasia and somersaults over top of her and lands back behind Bombshell.
Ooh, that's
And as she does, she draws a pair of sai, and she's bringing the sai down in order to try to stab you in the shoulders with her sai.
That's not very nice.
Yeah, I think bombshells.
Man, they're terrible. She got a white as well.
Right
So
down the
3
back, just scrapes down the nightie, just rips open the back.
Don't think of
3
it as them being terrible. Think of it as us being really good.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Polina pulls out a katana,
Oh dear,
and she takes
Okay,
a
wait.
swipe at you as well.
I got a bad feeling about this one.
Wait, one of them needs to have nunchucks.
Yep.
Right?
Now, can I do anything to this as far as like a dodge or an evasion or something?
Yes. Now that would be an action. Now, if you want to roll multiple actions, you certainly may.
Yeah, you definitely want to
You
go
can
with
also
that.
you can also block. You can use your strength basically as body armor.
Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna go with the multi-attack though option and go with evasion because my fighting is a little better than my strength. All right, so we're trying to go for multi-attack here, right?
Yep.
Let me look at my character sheet. Okay. So incredible table for multi-attack.
Okay. That
I don't know
gives
if that gets me
you.
anything.
Yeah, it does. That gives you an extra attack
Okay. So,
or extra action.
alright, so I will use one of them to evade that. Incredible. Right? Roll fighting for that.
Yep.
Yellow.
Nice.
All right, and then that gives you a -4 column shift. This is a little bending of the rules. The evasion stuff I found out years ago does not. It only extends combat to crazy lengths.
Okay.
So I treat it basically as a dodge, but you're rolling it on fighting instead. So that
Okay.
subtracts 2 column shifts away, which is enough. Or actually, it subtracts 4 column shifts away, which is enough to evade that particular attack.
So she kind of like guides the blade away with a kick.
And then it actually falls then to your actual turn at this point, so you may follow that up with an attack if you desire.
Okay, yeah, I will follow it up with, well, she's the one rocking a sword, so I will see if I can, handle her. Knocking her out would be lovely. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Just gonna go ahead and, yeah, just gonna go ahead and kick her.
Okay.
Yellow.
Ooh, there you go. And I think
So
that
that's a
may
full
be
That might be a slam.
potential slam.
It's gonna
On
be real
top of
bad
the
for
train.
Polina.
Oh, that's not great on a train.
Nope.
Yeah. And let's see here. Her endurance is good. Oh dear.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Hunt. And she
Tuck
goes
and roll!
flying,
Tuck and roll!
flying off of the
I
train.
hope she's okay. Well, I guess I'll know if my karma pool goes to 0 immediately.
Do we want to save them from doom?
I think she'll survive that.
You do? Will she?
I think so.
All right, Steven, it's your turn.
She hadn't taken any damage, so
Okay. How fast is the train going? It's probably only about 30 or something, right?
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
35, 40, yeah.
It shouldn't kill anybody.
She's not gonna have a good day, I'll say that.
Depends what
mean-
she lands on.
Yeah.
Depends on her tailbone.
Oh. She'll wish
I mean,
she's dead.
I don't want to get thrown off the train at 30-something miles an hour. I'll
No,
tell you
definitely
that.
not.
No.
All right, Geo, it's your turn.
I will. There's 3 of them surrounding Bombshell.
Correct.
Who looks
Now.
who looks the most powerful out of the 3?
They're about the same. I mean,
Bombshell.
literally physically identical.
Can't
Did any of
take
them
twice their
succeed
size.
on an attack?
The one that just got kicked off the train.
That's a good start. Since Anastasia was the supposed fake Tsarist of Russia, I will go after her and I will matter creation create some steel shackles around her arms.
Okay.
Solidly tight so she cannot move her arms.
All right. That would be under your power rank, then. What is that?
I don't know yet. Sorry, what?
Well, that's kind of important information.
I believe you. I don't know on this creation thing where you select the rank yet. Is there something I could just put in there for now?
Let's just let's go middle of the road, and we'll put it under incredible.
Sure.
And if you want to call karma, you can do that. You have to spend at least 10, but it could potentially get you up to the next rank if you want to do that.
All right.
And I'll go ahead and roll the incredible column for you there.
All right.
Do you want to do karma?
Yeah. How much do we have to start with?
150 to start for you.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right, got a white, so it's good we called karma. So on the incredible column, 22, you would need to spend 10, and that would get you up to your green.
All right, I'll do that.
All right. All right, so you create some shackles, and it catches her arms. She was the one that had the comma, I believe. So the comma are now immobile. She can still move her shoulders and arms, but she cannot articulate with them. So any attacks that she's going to do is going to be at a severe disadvantage.
Well, that's a bonus. At least got that done. So she can still attack with the comma, kind of with the 2 arms with the disadvantage, though. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually her turn next, so I'm going to go ahead and roll for her, and that's going to be at a -1, 2,
It's something else.
2 column shift there. Yeah, she got a 15, so yeah. Once again, no purchase on Bombshell. Eva, who is in the room, goes next, and she is going to make a move towards Franz, and you see that Franz, Sean, is beginning to stir because there's a disturbance in the room, and he's starting to kind of come to as Eva jumps up on the bed with a knife, and she is poised to come down on him with the knife. And we're going to roll for her. God. I have
Wow.
rolled almost nothing but whites tonight.
The red room is needs to up their game, man.
Yeah.
The training
sort of
regimen
the-
is leaves a little bit to be
sort of
desired.
The maroon room at this point, you know?
No, the red room is nothing but white, and it's making them blue.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
So you see Franz in bed. He kind of stirs, and then all of a sudden, there's this wild child that jumps on the bed wielding a knife, and he screams a girly scream and hides under the covers. And he goes,
I don't want Franz to die. He's hilarious.
Is this like Hans size from Saturday Night Live? Big Hans screaming?
"Oh yeah, yeah, uh-huh."
Oh yeah.
And just as luck would have it, as he's pulling the covers up, it's just enough to block the knife and carry it up with the covers.
That's awesome.
Human Tank, it's your turn, buddy.
Money.
Having heard a scream, I'm
A
going,
girly scream.
Shit.
I'm going to look at Flux and kind of do this now gesture.
She
Clearly
shakes her
there's
head
a woman in
vehemently.
distress.
I gotta look up some German swear words right now.
What'd you say, Sean?
He holds up the thing, holds up the hand. I'm trying like fucking hell to keep our cover out of this, and it's not going to happen if Tank is as Tank does.
Well, Hank finally got an idea. He will go back to human form, so he can just be a bodyguard, and say, hey, you're Baron. Do you need some help? I thought I heard a scream.
All right, Flux, if you want to respond to that, we can roll back to you.
Okay, I want to do some cool comic book shit. So I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain what I'm going to try, and you can tell me if it's okay.
Yep.
As a fluid motion, I want to drop the gun and kick it towards Tank
Okay.
to give him something to work with.
Okay.
My plan is to enter the room. As I'm entering, I shapeshift into a girl in black, like them, Russian features, kind of a combination of the two I'm looking at.
Okay.
Manifesting my shillelagh and bonking Franz on the head while I talk to them.
Shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
You got a druid shillelagh in this? Hilarious.
It's my manifest. It's my unique weapon.
That's awesome.
I'm Irish. What else am I gonna swing?
Corned beef.
I got your corned beef right here.
I'll give you the kick of the gun over to Human Tank, no problem. And yep, you can pick it up. And then the shapeshift, that's a no-brainer. So
Okay.
just make the attack on Franz.
Karma.
Okay.
At your ass, I'm saying karma because if this goes wrong, we're done. Come on, where's my sheet? Okay. Shillelagh, weapon specialist.
All right. You gonna take that to a yellow?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't have to pull up the sheet. Can anyone say what that costs me? It's an amazing attack.
Let's see here. You need to get it to 61.
Okay. So 13.
All right, now Franz, with his good endurance, just rolled a yellow. So you hit him on top of the head, and you hear him go, "Ow!" From you, we go to Sophia, who's back up top, so she's going to make another attack on Bombshell. got a green.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That's unprecedented.
I'm kind of hoping that then seeing me do that and then hitting the same person they're attacking at least slows them down.
Sure. I got you.
Well, I'm out of actions, I assume.
It's back. It's back. New round. Back to you.
Okay. Well, let me do the multi attack roll then.
Yeah, I forgot. Shoot, I forgot that was an option. Okay.
Same thing as last time.
Okay. Yep. So extra
2.
action. Mm-hmm.
I will try to do a block on that, or parry, or whatever you want to call it, with fighting.
Alrighty.
Evasion. Oh, white. Nope.
Okay.
I zigged when I
Alright.
should have zagged. I'm gonna eat that one.
So you're gonna take 20 points of damage.
Alrighty.
Veronica is next. And now Veronica is in the room with Flux. And she kind of stops and looks quizzically at you and looks over at Eva. And Eva shrugs. Mr. Arcane.
Is the door next to me locked or unlocked?
It is
That's the door,
locked.
right?
Mhm,
Just
yep,
locked.
it's locked.
But I don't hear anything in that room.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'll move here. Kind of just on this side of the door. I think that's the door there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll listen out to make sure Flux is okay, but I won't step in.
Okay. Ekaterina then would be next. She's gonna make an attack on Bombshell.
Okay.
You're just
What was
getting
that last
ganged up
attack
on.
with that hit me?
Let's see. Sophia, I think, had the knife.
I'm sorry, I'll be right back. I've got to use the men's room.
Ekaterina had the sai, and she takes a thrusting stab at your side.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna eat that because I don't want to use all my actions defending.
Okay. All right, so that's going to be, let's see, good. 10 points of damage then on that one.
Okay.
And then we go back to you, Bombshell.
Okay. On my turn, I heal for 4. At least I assume that's how that works. Okay. And then I will take do a spinning kick to Sophia's midsection
Okay.
and miss.
All right. Swing and a miss. Steven. Gio, are you with us?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Steven. Jeez, that's right. I didn't even think of the name. Sorry. Haha. I was thinking now, so the shackles are nice. It's going to give them disadvantage. Can I use matter creation to, let's say, create a one shackle from one of their arms with a chain into the roof so that it's fastened to the roof of the boxcar so they can't move, and then I would be informing Bombshell to, once I've done that, to a couple of them to move out of the way so they can't reach you with their melee attacks.
Gotcha.
Could that be workable?
Yep. Uh-huh. All right,
So
so
I-
it's...
Go for it.
Okay. Karma or no karma?
I'll do with Karma. Why
All
not?
right.
One scene tonight, probably.
There's your roll. I didn't click on you, but so that it says Ekaterina, but it's you. So you got a yellow on that one, 61. Now you can just spin the 10, and that's enough to get the success that you need. So just spend 10, and then we should be good on that.
I will.
So you create the chain, you bind her to the top of the car.
Yeah, like welded into the roof, like the metal just like forms into the roof.
And then that's actually her turn on Anastasia, so she at this point is not able to make an attack, so we're going to pass over her to Eva, back in the train car with Flux. And she looks at you and she's, I'm going to roll a reason feat for her. Typical. Ooh, 78 green. She looks at you with a little bit of a suspicious eye and she says, "Who are you?"
Am I allowed to respond, or am I waiting for my turn? I've got a big piece of exposition. That's why I was going to wait for my turn.
Sure. Human tank, it would roll around to you in line of initiative at this point.
I picked up the gun, and I'm just going to kind of move here so that I can protect the barrel.
Okay.
I have the gun.
Your mic is super low, but
Oh, maybe I just need to lean forward a little.
There you
Yes,
go. We got
that
you.
helps.
Okay. Sorry, it's getting late. I'm leaning back. So I'm holding the gun where they can see it, but I do not have it pointed and aimed. I'm just sort of making it clear that I can fight if I need to.
All right. Flux.
First, I'd like to roll for multiple actions.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2. What am I rolling?
Fighting.
Fighting. One moment. I'm going back and forth on a bunch of screens. Karma. Just a green. Just so I can have 2.
Okay.
Don't need it.
There you go. All right.
10.
We'll spend the 10. Okay. For my first action, it's... What is the Okay, first question out of character. Where are the allies with the Russians at this point in the war?
It's a tenuous relationship.
Okay. I'll worry.
But on the positive side.
I'll worry about the court-martial later then. What is the equivalent of a persuasion roll in this game?
It would be popularity, really, which kind of sucks. I would say roll reason with your espionage in place.
Okay. Know that I basically, and that I also make sure that Franz is actually not moving.
He is. You didn't actually knock him out. He just went, ow! But he's got his head under the covers and cowering.
Okay. I move in close, but not threateningly, so that I can whisper in Russian to them.
Mm-hmm.
I have no love for the Nazis. In fact, we are on a mission on behalf of the Allies. I have reason to believe that the person that you were sent to assassinate is actually a plant of ours. I am asking you to know, basically know that we are on the same side here. As sincere as I could possibly make it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me roll my reason. Oddly enough, it's the same thing as my intuition. Karma. I will bump that to a yellow.
Okay.
So...
All right, and I'll come back to that.
Sure.
We go up to Sophia on top of the car, taking another slash with her knife. Got a yellow. So she's doing a little bit more damage than the other one was. You took 20 from her before. So there's something going on with this particular knife that's causing a little bit more damage to you.
Got ya.
So now, do you want to try to evade?
Yeah, if I can.
Multiple actions?
Yep.
Okay.
Hoping for a good roll this time. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, and if you bump that, then that's going to give you a total of 3.
I didn't say I was spending karma, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry,
well,
I'm
actually,
trying to
I
avoid
think
spending it unless I absolutely have to, anyways, because I've only got
I
20
think
points.
I'm going to backtrack because I think that actually gets you 3 anyway. All
Okay.
you need is a yellow. So, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll use that to evade. Nice, good evade. Same number.
All right. And so that would bring it down.
Probably the
1,
green.
2, 3, 4. So you would only take 2 points of damage out of that.
Okie dokie.
Mr. Arcane.
Okay, so it sounds like, well, I don't know that, but Flux is, I can probably tell by her tone, she's kind of pleading with whoever's in there, the 2 girls, I presume. And Tank is outside. And I know, do I understand that something's going on the roof or no? Have I understood that yet or no?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not much to hear either.
Okay.
With the wind rushing in through that window now, it's
Yeah.
it's nearly impossible to hear.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Well, okay. In that case, I guess I'll hold what I've got right here. I guess
Okay.
I'll hold what I've got for the moment because I don't know that anything's going on up there. Flux is doing some spy shit, and I'm trying to be cool with that. Yeah, I'll just hold there.
Okay. Katarina is not going to hold, and she's going to take a swipe at Bombshell with her sai.
Mm-hmm.
So she pulls the sai out, takes another swipe, and misses. And then we go to Bombshell.
Alright, that took a substantial chunk out of the back of...
Wait, I have a second action. Are we going in full action order?
We are the way this normally goes.
Okay.
If you dodge or evade, then that jumps you up to that point, so you can make that action at that time.
Okay.
I will roll back around for the next action for you.
Okay, just let me know.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I will try to, well, actually, wait. So, I used one, that means I got 2 actions left, right?
Yep. And you can do one of those.
Oh, it's my turn now, though. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I'm gonna do a kick on Sophia. And then I'm gonna move and kick Katarina.
Okay.
So the idea is to kick her, ideally, off the side, move here, kick her off the side.
Okay. Now, because we're going in succession here, you can make the attack on Sophia right now.
Right.
Then we'll roll back around
Sounds
to you
good.
here in a
I just
bit.
wanted to let you know what my intent was.
Gotcha.
All right. So incredible. That's a yellow potential slam.
Okay. I'll roll her endurance. That's Sophia. White. Whee!
Okay.
Hunted her right off the top.
Can I look to make sure she's still alive?
Yeah.
The character would be kind of concerned about human life.
They are certainly lithe enough to know how to roll with the punches, even off of the top of a moving train car.
Yeah, and they each weigh about 3 pounds. So.
That's what they get.
Funny shit. Yep.
All right, Gio, it's back to you.
I will form another set of shackles around Ekaterina's arm and weld it into the top of the roof of the boxcar. Tiny car.
All right.
Keep them moving.
rolled for you. You got a 59, which is a green. And then that should be enough to do that to her.
Nice. Sounds good to me.
Anastasia is immobile. We go back to Eva. Okay, so Eva now can respond to what you had done, Flux. And she says, "You have magical powers. You are not one of us." And then Tank comes to you. You hear a bunch of Russian being spoken inside the room.
Mr. Arcane is still Astro.
No, he's solid.
No, I went and got my body.
Oh, good.
I'm standing there in front of you.
Can you do that same thing you did before, but with Russian? Because I don't understand a thing of what's going on.
Sure. You know what? I can do that. Well, on my turn.
I will hold my action if the girls attack either Franz or Flux. I will shoot. Otherwise, I will wait for Mr. Arcane to let me know what the hell they're talking about.
Gotcha. All right, Flux comes back to your second action now.
No, I am not Russian, but I am ally. Just as your country is allied with the United States and Britain. And I am telling you, you have been duped. Who are you here to kill?
Okay. I will come back around to that here in a moment. Bombshell comes back to your next action.
Okie dokie.
Kick one more off. Boop!
Well, they're both tethered, right?
They are, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's cold up here. I feel bad for them, but whoop. And inside.
Okay. All right. Then that's the end of that, end of that round. We go back to Flux. At this point, I'm gonna take away the order here, so we can just role play.
Oh, one quick question, Bombshell. Did you know what was happening with the Shackles, who was doing it and everything? What did your character realize?
She had no clue what the hell was going on, other than the fact that all of a sudden they're cuffed up. She assumes that whatever that is down there had something to do with it, but
You got paired with the right person if you're trying to keep secrets.
Bombshell's good to keep secrets.
Flux was not.
Flux is
she's
not.
just like
I'll make
no
a
idea
note of
what the
that.
hell's going on. Just taking it as a blessing.
Nice. That's kind of cool. I think I'll try to roleplay it off like that. Is that could be coincidence, and that you don't even know if it was the character. Interesting.
Veronica says to Eva, silence the man. And she flips the knife around and butts him on top of the head with it.
Acceptable.
And knocks him out. And Veronica then addresses you, Flux. And she says, "You are interfering with a delicate operation."
As are you.
Then we seem to be at an impasse. I must speak with my handler. And she dives out the window.
Ooh.
And Eva grabs hold of the window, takes a look over her shoulder, and she disappears into the snow as well. But they both went up.
As soon as they're gone, I'd like to immediately start the process to morph back into the Baron.
Okay. All right. And we are certainly over time. I appreciate you guys hanging out for all of that. We kind of got into the battle a little later than what I anticipated.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't go in swinging.
Oh no, that's good.
This was clearly a case of the same side coming in opposite directions. So I just kind of did what comic books call for.
Well, it's required by law when superheroes on the same side meet, they're supposed to fight.
Maybe in America, but I'm Irish. I'm a little more cerebral.
Are you? Is that how that works?
Hey, that's called.
I got a bunch of Irish
John,
jokes.
that's called a graphic novel. That's the difference between graphic novels and comics.
Fair.
There we go.
Well,
No. At the absolute least, I think we can get out of this situation with the cover still intact.
Maybe.
Later on, who knows? But
I'm loving the feel of the covert operative stuff. Is that the whole?
Just curious, what were
no.
Heinrich and Dieter doing during
Not normally.
No.
Were they just sleeping through it?
What'd you
Normally
say,
some
Tank?
people would be blasted by now, but
Were Heinrich and Dieter just sleeping through all this?
They were on the other side of the wall, so
Oh.
not in the same room. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see
they're
the
over
wall.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
the Baron's
Uh,
gonna try to wake Franz up
Okay. Well, we
We
can
are-
take care of that
next time. Yeah.
Next time, yeah. So we'll bring the graphic novel to a midway point for tonight's adventure and call it for tonight.
Goes on a 6-month hiatus. Everyone forgets what happened.
Right? Yeah. So, guys, thank you again for staying
Thank
up a little
you.
bit later than normal.
Thanks for the
Keep it
game.
running.
Thanks,
And
guys.
we will meet once again in 2 weeks. And Lucas, I'll get with you in between times, and we'll iron everything out for the character and get your character sheet in here and get you all figured out. Okay?
Yeah, thanks for your patience with on my getting that sheet done too.
Oh yeah, no problem. I understand.
Real
We
life.
appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
All right, folks.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay.
Take
You'll
care.
have a good night.
In
Week.
2 weeks,
Bye.
I guess.
2
Thanks
weeks,
again,
sir.
Chris.
All right,
Bye-bye.
we'll see you.
Bye.
Later.